শিডিউল হয়ে গেছে কেন? দেখো তো। অন হয়েছে? হ্যালো 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 রাকিব ভাই, ঠিক আছে তো? সাউন্ড ঠিক আছে না? ওকে, ঠিকঠাক। ওকে, একটা ম্যাচ খেলা যাবে। ওয়েট,
All my life plans seem minuscule now that I got a glimpse of the truth.
Battle Royale. Battle in style. Head to the vending machine.
Head to the vending machine.
ভাই আমি এত পুরো না। গাইস যারা যারা স্ট্রিমে জয়েন করতেছো,
I hope this
স্ট্রিমটাতে
valor
লাইক
is as
করে দিও।
real as it feels.
Heads up!
I've
Enemy
been
dropping
tricked
close.
before. Got a gun.
আলিফা প্লেয়ার কে আছে? হ্যালো,
Got a gun.
Need equipment. Go for the arsenal.
Resources here.
Thanks.
ये सुपर मेडी लगले हंते ना होते नहीं
Resources
तब
here.
Thanks.
Enemy nearby detected.
दादा मतलब स्ट्रीम आट के कैसे वर्क की रे
Go for the arsenal. Arsenal unlocked.
Arsenal unlocked.
Resources here.
Thanks.
Go for the arsenal. Resources here.
आर्सेनल देखो तो की और 3 नंबर का सॉन्ग वायरस वाइटी
Resources here.
ओ
Thanks.
ऑर्गन से में
Hit him with Sense's shockwave.
प्लेयर से दिया एक्सा था क्यों প্লেয়ার 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 পাশে প্লেয়ার আসছে আরে ভাই হ্যাঁ প্লেয়ার ঢুকছে একটা খাওয়া এদিকে আসো তো আরো আসতেছে
Hit him with senses shockwave. Double kill.
16টা মেডিকেল নিয়ে কি করে চলো চলো সামনে রিঅ্যাপ দে
Wipeout.
ওইটারও তো দিয়ে দিছে রে প্লেয়ার 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 যেতে আমার
Kill.
আরে এদিকে আসো এদিকে আসো এদিকে আসো ওয়াল মারো এ ওরে আমি মারতাছি লাগেই না গায়ে আরে यार কি প্লেয়ার ভাই এটা এরে এমই করা যায় না কি রে ভাই স্নাইপার দিয়ে এম করতেছি এম যায় না কি একটা অবস্থা দাঁড়াও ম্যাচ স্টার্ট হবে এখন আর আধা ঘন্টা আছে ওরে আল্লাহ Wait. It live কেমন হয় না? রেডি দাও তো। ভাই তুমি কি প্লেয়ার ভাই? হ্যালো? হ্যাঁ? আরে আমার কিক দিয়ে কি করবে? আমি কি কিক দিব নাকি? আহ পুরাই ক্যাম্প। আর একটা খেলা যাবে, এখনো টাইম আছে। রেডি? ओ भाई
All my life plans seem minuscule now that I got a glimpse of the truth.
Battle Royale. Battle
Head to the
in
vending
style.
machine. Roger. Head to the vending machine.
चलो
Roger. Head there.
I hope this battle is as real as it feels. I've been tricked before.
ওটা কি হ্যাক করতে গেল নাকি কি হ্যাকার
Heads up. Enemy dropping close. Got a gun.
Got a gun.
আরে ভাই কেমন লাগে ওটা এখানে লুট করতেছে গেছে 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 ইউএমপি আছে কিন্তু ইউএমপি আছে এদিকে এদিকে এদিকেই এদিকেই আরে কি খেয়াল করো হ্যাঁ দেখো আরেকটা কই উঠছে দেখো মার ভাই মার ভাই রে ভাই কি প্লেয়ার এগুলো বাহ বাহ নাইস এখন 3টা ওয়াল দেয় ভাই। আমি খেলবো ইসলাম ভাইয়া, এখন তো গেম প্লে করবো না, আমরা টুর্নামেন্ট দেখবো, একটু পরেই স্টার্ট হবে। আর আজকে বাংলাদেশের ম্যাচ আছে, আর আজকে তো আমরা ম্যাচ দেখবো, ঠিক আছে? আরে হয় না কি রে? ওই দৌড়াই ভাই, এটা ভাই আমি আপনার অনেক বড়। আরে ভাই সত্যি নাকি?
That's right. I'm the game champ. Old news.
দাঁড়াও, ওয়েট। Okay, guys. সত্যি কথা, আরে ভাই থ্যাংক ইউ। দাঁড়াও,
here at EWC. For me, it's going to be LOS. They really showed up, and I don't think they're going to slow down. They don't have that curse that we usually talk about when it comes to knockout stage, and they need that that aggression as well to undermine the mindset of the opposing teams.
Well, I agree with you, and I have high expectations in R7 too, R7, Los, and I think Falcons. They are kind of, they are still chasing. I mean, they want to keep the trophy in their shelf, so they will show a great show. They will show a great play for us today. I hope so.
Well, let's see if they can keep that trophy because I know everyone else wants it. Now we do have our
ভাই টিম কোড দিবেন এখন তো ভাইয়া খেলবো না এখন আমরা টুর্নামেন্ট দেখবো
on our day two matches. And gentlemen, ladies, we didn't
আর
have some
20
really
মিনিট
exciting
পরেই
matches
ম্যাচ স্টার্ট
yesterday
হবে
because of course Group B, again, we keep saying it, they had to basically play their absolute best yesterday because it was their last chance to grab those points.
Absolutely. I think, big standouts in terms of some of these plays. You might notice that loss is going to be part of a majority of them. However, I did notice, between me and Raja in the back, we were talking about like, yes, LOS is getting a lot of points. Why are they taking out other Latam teams? What's going on?
Yeah, I guess it's because you did mention there, Raja, that and even in the video coming from both teams, it is a rivalry between them.
পরে আমার সাথে খেলবেন হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ রাতে আমি তোমার ধরো 11টা বা 12টার দিকে আসবো 12টায় আসবো হ্যাঁ খেলতে পারবা
Rest of the teams as well.
Well,
আর
I
add
think
করে নিব নাইলে
Fluxo, it's kind of rival of Lowe's, and I think they need to like pray to, to the bottom teams do not make so much points to like put them out of the top 12, So they need to pray a lot. I will pray for them, and we have like such a big crowd, and I think maybe this can work, But we need to see. We need to see what the bottom teams will prepare for us today.
Well, I would love to see some surprises coming out from our bottom teams. We do have our Crunchyroll reactions ready to go as well. Let's see some of the emotion that is happening on the main stage. And obviously, we're going to be seeing a variety on the screen, right? We see despair, we see excitement, we see happiness, we see determination. If you're going to make it to that next stage, you can't really afford to let your emotions just run haywire, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. That is one thing that pros really need to deal with. Emotion will be thrown out the window. Just focus on the strategy, focus and make sure that you are clear on your goal, clear on your communication. Because at some point when you put so much emotion that whether it's excitement or sadness, and it will throw off your game.
I think it all comes down to balance, right? You don't want to be too hyped, as you said, but you also don't want to be feeling negative throughout the games and matches, which I think, a really great example we saw up on the screen was Core Memory. You could see that Cougar, as much as you could see him wanting to go above and beyond, he's just trying to keep it chill. He took off the glasses. He's looking at his teammates, guiding them, even though he's already down.
Right, now we do have a standout player from yesterday's matches, and it was none other than Della. So I believe we're going to be getting a bit of a close look into Della before we jump into today's matches. He's got the key, he's going to be receiving it, and I think he's going to do the same thing that Rasia did yesterday, which was basically putting his key up on the stage.
Yeah, definitely. This is something momentous, being in there, being representing not only your team, but also your region, and just showing up that you're part of EWC 25.
Yeah, it must be a very tense moment, putting your key up, seeing Rasia's there as well, thinking, oh, can I outdo this man?
I think the best part of it all, oh, please, we need to see it. We need to see the hydraulic press come into play because I think that's what all these players are looking for. They're just like, give us a chance, just one go.
I don't know if you want to look forward to it because the question is your key going to survive or is yours going to be crushed, right? Because 6 keys are going to be crushed at the end of the day. So it's a really tense moment. You're kind of praying here that, your key stays intact. Sure, you won't get it back yet, but there's a good chance that you're going to be the winner. You keep your key and you take home 3 other keys. Okay, I have a very big question. Maybe the answer is very obvious, maybe it is not. If you were given the chance to take 3 keys from any teams and they were crushed, whose keys would you want?
Oh, that's a good one. I think, tell you what. We got to get the top teams here. I would say that I would take BRU, I would take Fluxo, and I think I would also take Hotshot Esports as well. Gotta get that representation. Gotta get a little bit of everybody. Diversity.
Yeah. If it's any team, regardless of what placement, what standing there are, Falcons, they were the champion. We have Fluxo, sorry.
RSK comeback, inshallah.
And I would say Burim United because they have been intimidating from the start.
I will keep your answer, but I will change Fluxo for... let me see.
LOS.
No, I'm not trying to create like a... Yeah, hot shot. Yeah. I don't want to like improve the reviver. You know, I don't want to improve it. I need to be like neutral about it.
Gotta make sure that the knockdowns stay down, you know, no revives at this point.
I'm glad we have a balanced panel, right? We have peace and chaos at the opposite ends of the couch. Love you all so much. It looks like we do have an STC Club Championship update, in case you guys did not catch this yesterday. Now, of course, we do have the match schedules for all of the games here at EWC as well. So if there are any game titles that you are keen to actually keep an eye out for, here's the completed schedule and what weeks they're going to be played on. So mark your calendars, pick out the dates, and pick out your favorite games, and get ready to cheer for your favorite teams and your favorite players. Now, at the moment, we are currently on the week 2 schedule. So we have League of Legends, Free Fire, Dota 2, and Mobile Legends happening at the exact same time. So if you also watch other games aside Free Fire, then definitely check out the streams for those corresponding matches and games as well. And now we do have the prizing for our club championships. If you don't know what this is, there is a separate event happening in EWC. Of course, your teams and players competing are going to be aiming for a prize pool, but we have the club championship where the clubs, the teams that own the players, are competing in a separate tournament where if you place high in multiple games and accrue enough points, you're going to be the club champion at EWC 25. So make sure you cheer for your teams as well as your favorite players, because there is so much on the line here at EWC 25.
There is, and I think that now that as the weeks are going to continue to go by, at least for some of these teams, now that we know the schedule, I think they're coming to their top 4s and top 2s already, which is why the points are continuously updating.
I mean, you have to keep it updated, and especially with the fact that there is a extra condition where you need to you have to have a top 8 placement in 2 game titles. So it can't just be you win one game, you win Free Fire, and then you can win the whole club championship. So there's a lot on the line here. We also have your honor on the line here, my panelists, because we have the Aramco Power Rankings ready to go. So let's see who you have chosen as our top dogs for today's matches. And we're seeing a lot of Buriram, I'm seeing a lot of Loss, and we do have some variety. So starting with Raja, explain your picks to me today.
Well, I think Pain Gaming will probably be aggressive today, and they don't have like I mean, they don't have landing spots, so they need to contest this from other teams. So probably they will be more aggressive, and they will do this type of play style today. So that's the reason why I put Pain Gaming, and Buriram, I think everyone knows why I put it here, and Loss because of the same thing as Pain Gaming. I think they will be aggressive, and they are so good, so it's impossible not put Loss here.
I guess it is impossible not put Loss because all of us put Loss in there. And, well, I guess there's a lot more that will be offered, not only by those on the power rankings.
I feel that as much as we all put like very stable, why didn't anybody put Falcons? They came
That's
up.
what I was gonna say. I was like, there's only one Falcon up there. What's going on?
I don't know what we're thinking of here.
I think I'm done about Falcons. I don't want to keep like seeing the names like and appear like Falcons drop it like a player. I'm done about it. I want to see like other teams.
Raja,
you know?
I have to say, when you leave the venue, be careful. You might get swooped. I'm just saying, you might get swooped by a couple of Falcons.
But I mean, they are like top 1, right? So I think that's not a problem.
Are they going to stay at the top? That's what we want to know.
Exactly.
But I think they are like safe.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've spoken quite a lot about Falcons, but it looks like we do have an extra segment for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at the character building of Loss. Let's check it out.
Então é nosso estilo mais sair para trocar tiro. Quem a gente vê, a gente vai matar na frente, porque a gente é muito confiante e sabe que vai ganhar. O rival vou colocar como o Flux, né? Que eles são os campeões mundiais atualmente.
It's only Brazil. It's gonna be Loss versus
Se lança pro meio do caos sem general acertando o primeiro.
Bom, a gente já ganhou de vocês esse ano e agora nós vamos pra ganhar de novo aí. Toma cuidado.
Flaxo. He's taken out. General.
Nosso campeonato regional lá no Brasil é muito complicado, são muitos times bons, tanto que cada ano acaba mudando os times que vão para o Mundial e tal, porque a região é muito forte, então é muito complicado jogar lá e jogar contra o Fluxo também, que é o melhor time do mundo atualmente, mas dessa vez a gente conseguiu sair campeão.
Tudo bem, ó, pra cima, como tem que ser. A direção é uma só, vambora, Rigby. Já chamou na de Shahed também. Loss.
Baba.
Minha maior motivação é saber que o título que me falta é o Mundial, sabe? Porque a gente já ganhou bastante, ganhou de tudo já. Campeonato Brasileiro, Continental, a única coisa que tá faltando mesmo é o Mundial. Então a gente vem bastante motivado para ganhar esse ano, se Deus quiser. Então, para se provar, a gente tem que ser campeão aqui e vai ser dessa vez.
Oh, not for long. I only tried to go in and now and that's the booyah! What an incredible game coming from this team!
There's a reason why Loss is being highlighted, and it is because not only are they champions looking down upon their own region, but also potential champions here at EWC 25. And just seeing their first play day yesterday for day 2, they looked so good, so on point. The chemistry was there. And I think the question we now have is, are they really world champion material? I think they're really close. Raja, I'm pretty sure you're more familiar with Loss than the rest of us on the panel. What is it that Loss does that makes them such a high quality team?
Well, I saw an interview and I also wrote it down here. I will say like the general words. Well, he'd say that they are really confident with the players' individual skills because they already have like one of the top 3 rushes, rushes from Brazil. But when they need, they know how to play it safe. So I mean, they can adapt in every type of play style. So they can even beat Asian teams. And they are not even used to it because, well, they do not play that much against Asian teams, but they also can do it. So I think they are really capable of, getting the trophy.
Speaking of the some of these teams now, I mean, if they're coming in looking confident, that's when I get worried. Adjustments are going to be made, but more importantly, being stubborn also has its perks, right? It means that other teams must adjust around you rather than, hey, we got to figure things out.
Yeah, back to Loss. I mean, from last year, 3 of the players are returnees in EWC. So I guess this is redemption for them. They were almost in there. They were almost in there. If it wasn't for Team Falcons, they could have grabbed that championship. So this is probably one reason why they studied Southeast Asian and the other teams as well, and they're doing so well.
Yeah. Now, hopefully, if we can, we would love to see the total rankings one more time before the match begins, because I think everyone wants to know where is everyone currently standing on that leaderboard. Because Neptune, on the way to the venue, we had a really interesting discussion, right?
Ranking.
The odds of teams making it to top 12. Now, run us through the numbers. Who do you think is most likely to make it through, and who may just make the cut?
Yeah, I mean, just running through basic calculations first, if we look at the teams from ANC, double their scores, and it's only Virtus Pro who might be able to go and take over against Alpha 34, who's currently the bottom of Group B. But there's still also some risk for Hotshots right now, because once I did some simulation, Hotshots was just ending in there on the top 12, and it's a potential that he can be thrown out. They can be thrown out of that top 12 spot. But for the rest of the teams, 3 simulations has been done. The result's always the same unless they really pump it up for this day.
Yeah, so it seems very top-heavy for teams in Group B. Well, we're going to have to see what happens there. But one thing we do know is that we have an interview lined up with Buriram. So let's see what Buriram have to say before they kick off their first match today.
Hi everyone, it's Kyungso and welcome to our interview with Buriram United Esports from Thailand. Hello everyone. So yesterday you guys already have yourself a first booyah, but after that everything seems to be very slow down. It feels like flick off. What happened?
ก็เมื่อวานนะครับเราได้บูย่าไปแล้ว1 รอบแต่ว่าหลังจากนั้นเนี่ยรู้สึกว่าแบบทุกอย่างคือแบบดูช้าลงไปหมดเลยดูเหมือนเป็นขาลงหน่อยๆไม่ทราบว่าเกิดอะไรขึ้นบ้างครับ
ก็ ผิดพลาดตอนแบบว่า move นิดหน่อยครับผม move เข้าวงอย่างเงี้ยครับผิดพลาดกันเล็กๆน้อยๆก็ไปปรับปรุงก็แก้ไขมาครับวันนี้ทำได้ดี
Kung desi başardı.
So I think it's kind of like butterfly effect because after we got the first booyah we have made such a small mistake over and over again. For example, like we are moving into the last circle like a bit too slow, so everything.
আচ্ছা
keeps going
ট্রান্সলেট
down
করতেছে
from point.
Alright, I understand. So
I mean,
yesterday
so-
it's just a little small mistake, but I think today Buriram will come back stronger. So what is your goal today and what are you expecting the most for today's match?
ก็วันนี้คิดว่าจะเป็นยังไงบ้างครับแล้วก็เราเตรียมพร้อมยังไงมาบ้างครับ
ก็สำหรับเตรียมพร้อมก็เราก็ได้เป็นการซ้อมข้อที่ผิดพลาดอย่างหนักครับแล้วก็วันนี้เราก็น่าจะทำเต็มที่น่าจะผลงานน่าจะออกมาดีครับ
So we will try our best in today's matches. So after yesterday match, we went back and like keep looking into one by one of our small mistakes that happened during the games, and hopefully we already fix all of them. And let's see what's gonna happen in today.
I think today's Buriram is gonna be okay, like usual. They are king
No,
of
they-
Booyah, so they're gonna make it into the quarter stage and of course grand finals. Alright.
গরম তো
how do
এটা
we
বেটা
say fighting in Thai?
আছে
สู้
নদী টিয়া
Susu na,
টিয়া হবে পারলাই
So to Buriram fans out there who might be a
Ache,
little
boy.
concerned after their performance yesterday, they're not moved, they're not shaken, but they do understand what happened yesterday. So it was quite surprising, according to them. They made a couple of mistakes, and that was really why they fell out of the grouping. I think originally we kind of thought it was just a grouping incompatibility. They just couldn't play their game.
I don't know about the mistakes, but it seems like they don't want to take the lead in the knockout stage. They don't want to show all their cards yet because they're preparing it for point rush as well as grand finals.
Yeah, and I think for the most part of it, even though it's small mistakes, it's only still a 60 amount of points is still pretty good. It still puts them in contention and definitely for a position for top 12.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge on these teams. It looks like we are basically ready to go here for match number 1 between groups A and C. Teams in Group B, they can only look on and watch and hope that they've earned enough in their previous matches. But I think we're ready to fly on over to the main stage. Survivors, let's head on over to game number 1.
Gue cukup seneng banget ada di Arab sini karena ini impian gue sebelum-sebelumnya bareng tim gue juga. Season lalu kita cuma jadi penonton dan sekarang kita akhirnya bisa jadi pemain di sini.
รู้สึกดีครับตื่นเต้นก็เป็นความฝันด้วยที่มาแข่งรายการใหญ่ๆครับ
Tipo, nunca ter desistido, que eu jogo faz muito tempo já, e ter continuado tentando, mesmo fracassando, seguindo em frente, erguendo a cabeça, valeu a pena ter chegado aqui.
Latihan mungkin ya, latihannya lebih keras lah ditambah terus kayak saling percaya satu sama lain, saling nguatin lah satu sama lain. ยังมีครับยังไม่ได้ใช้แผนหมดครับ
আরে আরেচ করে দেখা ভাই
Semua tim di sini ya pastinya jago-jago lah ya. Ibaratkan kayak ya ini udah masuk World Champion pasti semua di sini yang terbaik lah.
No Brasil já são times fortes lá, mas aqui é um nível completamente diferente. Cada erro, tipo, por mínimo que seja, custa muito caro aqui.
รู้สึกว่าปลดล็อกอะไรหลายๆอย่างครับปลดล็อกหลายอย่างเลยสไตล์การเล่นเราด้วยวิธีไฟท์ทีมใช่ครับ
A cada queda tentando jogar como se fosse a última
Alfa.
e tentando o melhor resultado.
ที่เราได้บูย่ามาแล้วเจอกันต่อรอบชิงครับ
ก็ปล่อยผมเข้ารอบชิงครับเชื่อมั่นในตัวผมครับเดี๋ยวผมพาชูถ้วยครับ
Sampai bertemu di final nanti.
พวกเราจะเอาแชมป์กลับประเทศไทย
প্লেয়াররা আসবে এখন ভাই রে ভাই, ওই যে ট্রফি।
Welcome! It's time to get day 3 of knockout stage is started. Group B wrapped it up yesterday, and what a show it was, huh? Asian teams are leading strong, but Brazil, Latin, and Mina are fighting really hard too. Today, it all ends, my friends. 12 teams will rise and move on to Point Rush on the road to the grand finals. Stay with us, feel every second. This is where Free Fire history is made. And now, let's meet the teams who will take the stage today and fight to leave their mark on the Esports World Cup. First up, it's Asia Sister!
मैच स्टार्ट हो गए हम
यार इसके खेलबो तो ना
हाँ আমি তো না হবে হবে এই গোলুমল এটা
আর इसके কি ঢুকছে না
আর কেউ না ঢুকতেছে দেখো লাইভ দেখো
দেখতেছি
লস লস আসতেছে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হবে 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 আজকে হবে আর আজকে
আজকে ফাড়াই দিস ভাই রেড হটস
হবে হবে আজকে হবে বয়স
আজকে দাদা ফ্লিকার ফাড়া ফেলে
অনেক
কুট্টু তো ভালো খেলে না আমি দেখছিলাম আরে অনেক খেললো আজকে
বুড়ির আমও খেলবে আজকে অপোনেন্টটা অনেক ভালো ভালো টিম আছে হবে হবে গাইস সমস্যা নাই অল গেমার্স গ্লোবাল এটা কোনটা টিম
ফ্যালকন খেলবো না
না
ফ্যালকন খেলবো না
মুভি স্টারও খেলবো হয়ে যাক আজকে হয়ে যাক আর আজকে আমি নার্ভাস ওদের থেকে বেশি আমি নার্ভাস এই যে ড্রাগনসও খেলবে ওদের প্লেয়ার চেঞ্জ করছে না
কি ডিআইটি ও দূর আমরা পারি
সব টিমে একটা গোলমালো আছে শুধু আমাদের টিমে নাই যে আরএসকে সবগুলা
সবটি শুকনা
আচ্ছা ফ্যালকন তো খেলবে কি রে ওদের না 12টা ম্যাচ না 6টা খেলছে তাইলে ওই দিন ও হ্যাঁ কালকে খেলে ইবস খেলছে আর লুকসো না লস খেলছে
What an entrance! The Kitia Esports Arena, it's open. And now Free Fire squads have entered the battleground. Each one of them here are chasing glory. Each one are ready to survive the storm.
ভাই আজকে কি হয় আমি এখনো না
Let's take a little trip into the wild. One of our brave reporter has been out in the field tracking rare creatures. The Free Fire roleplay. This one you know. The rituals, the movements, the natural habitats. Let's go now into the wild. The world of
অনেক বেশি
deadless
অনেক
hunters.
বেশি
Let's go.
আচ্ছা ম্যাচ স্টার্ট হবে না
It's me here, Admat, the Play Hunter. We are now right here in Riyadh Boulevard, Ross City for Esports World Cup 2025. And I'm here to try to find out what does our
কি রে কমেন্ট কতগুলো আমার আসে না একটু স্ক্রিনশট দাও তো স্ক্রিনশট দিয়ে আমাকে দাও তো কি রকম কমেন্ট আসে না কেন
It seems that I'm lost. Can't seem to find anyone here. Could we find a pro player here to see what
তুমি দেখি আমার নাও মিস যাইতে পারে
I
কমেন্ট
still can't see them. I think the map's broken. Maybe here.
গাইস যারা স্ট্রিমে লাইক করে দাও আর চ্যানেলে নতুন হলে অবশ্যই সাবস্ক্রাইব
Players walking.
আর হ্যাশট্যাগ RHK
Looks like they are entering
হবে
some
আজকে
sort of an
দূর ভাই
arena. Let's go. Let's find out what are they doing. Mate, we are now right here in some sort of arena. It called itself as STC Gaming Arena, but I'm not so sure. And it looks like I have spotted a few pro players doing some sort of ritual. I do not dare to get close. Crikey, look at that. They are trying to get the luck from the previous team that has won before. Such an amazing behavior. Nothing like that have we been seeing. Trying to pull all the luck here from the previous winner.
আচ্ছা দোয়া করতেছে ওদের
Let's go Hunter. Go. Crikey, that was so good.
আচ্ছা হোস্ট ওদেরকে ফলো করতেছে
It's a month for the pick.
দেখ কেমন দৌড়াইতেছে বড়
I player. Oh, you're player. Yeah. Thank you, Robert.
Alright, we're gonna catch up towards the pro player.
যেমন করে দুইজন জানে না এই দেখো
They're not. They're just doing their final
রেড হয়ে গেল
power
সে কেমন আছেন
and it looks
ভাই
like they are
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ
going
ভালো
somewhere
আছি
else. Let's go. We don't miss it. Let's go. We're almost lost him. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's okay.
রিয়াদ ভাই হবে নাকি আজকে বলো
Oh, it looks like they added another one.
আবার এখানে কি করতেছে ওরা
What a weird behavior. I think this is the continuous chanting for good luck. Mate, this is something I don't see every day.
ওরা কি করতেছে এটা
আরে এটা মানে খেলছে রে নরমাল মজা করতেছ না রে
It looks like they have done their ritual. They have went back to their habitat.
Oh, traffic jams.
And that it's all here at Boulevard EWC 25.
না
I'll see you guys later.
কিটা আছে এগুলা
Esports World Cup
এটা তো মাইন্ড মডেল কি দেখো ভাই রেড রেকার ভাই কি করেছে ভাই
Esports World Cup 25 knockout stage
Oh,
day
yes.
number 3
এখানে মাইয়া ভাই তোমরা ম্যাচে ফোকাস করো আমি তো ফুল নার্ভাস খেলতেছে ওরা নার্ভাস আমি
আজকে যাতে আমার মুখটা ফুফানো
না ভাই তুই ভাই কিছু বলিস না আজকে নিয়ে
Unfortunately, they have laid their chances to
দেখা
rest.
যাক
12
বেস্ট অফ
games
লাক
in total. They've pulled away whatever they can pull from the competition. Alpha 34. It doesn't take a genius to figure out they are definitely not going to be at point rush.
ওই আরএসকে রে দেখাও না ভাই আরএসকে রে দেখাও না ওই দেখো আরেকটা পা তুল চেয়ারের মধ্যে পা তুল
Not too much, Husky.
Yeah, it's not too much, but they ended yesterday in
সবার একটা স্টাইল আছে না ঘুম আসতেছে
We wanted them to just be in top 8 and they did and they
আরে আরএসকে রে দেখায় না কেন
like you said the question is can they still
দেখাও
survive
ভাই
today?
আরএসকে
Still need 5 more teams at least to not make it. Alpha 34 they did their best to drag Hotshot Esports down and let's see if that has paid off.
Of course, there were some questions in the air. Will Fluxo make it? 100
এই তো আরএসকে এই যে কুটুস
obviously
ব্লেড আরে বাবা
at the top of the leaderboard. Fun fact, last
হবে আজকে হবে
2 points and
আজকে
they
হবে
through at the 12th spot. So it's a little bit better, but either way, it looks like they are going to be making it through. Of course, it's going to take a mountain of effort from any of the teams currently in the bottom 6 to oust Fluxo from their 4th spot. 106 points is quite tough to reach because if you look at Virtus Pro, down in the 13th place, they've only got 52 points, so quite a journey for them to climb up. And we got to also remember they're going up against the other teams from Group A and C. Obviously, they're going to be picking up those points as well, so it's not as straightforward. Every single game, these teams need to be in that final circle. Speaking of final circle, Red Hawks, if they want to stand a chance, they need to be in every single final circle with a minimum of 5
এই দেখো ফ্লিকার এখানেও মার্কস
Dude, that's tough.
ভাই ও
man. They
মার্কস
only performed for 3 games on their first day of play.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how brutal this
মার্কস এটা ছাড়া ফ্লিকার বের হয় না
in the knockout stage. Every single round that you kind of give
ও
away
আমার
to
মতো
your
আমিও
opponent,
মার্কস
you
ছাড়া
need to make up
যাই
for
না
it twice as hard. And I think for Red Hawks, I agree with the calculation. We kind of went
কে
over the
বারমুড়া
numbers behind the
ম্যাচ
scenes.
স্টার্ট
And I
হবে
gotta
এখন
add another caveat today. I think a booyah is necessary for Red Hawks, right? Just in case.
আল্লাহ
just as
ভরসা
a
আল্লাহ
third
ভরসা
as we head into game number 1. Again, the final 6 rounds before we find out which 12 team will make it through. And heading over to Bermuda once more. And for fans out there, you can rest assured that this flight path is very, very generous, straight down the middle.
Absolutely, and of course it's going to be fair and easy. EVOS Esports though, they're the group stage.
EVOS Esports এক নম্বরে EVOS EVOS এক নম্বরে ভাই 154 পয়েন্ট ওকে ওকে নামতেছে আর এসকে কোন দিকে এই যে আর এসকে তো মিলে যাইতাছে এই ভিপির সাথে হবে মারামারি হবে এখন
You know what I don't feel good about?
আরে ভাই আমার
SLAJ, VP and Red Hawks, they both just dropped in the same spot, and we see very early gunfights, and this is
শুরু হয়ে গেছে
be very bad for Red Hawks if they don't make out of this alive. Ideally, if you can somehow beat VP, that would be great. We've seen Red Hawks pull off miracle in the earlier rounds of day 1, but that's a day 1 thing, right? That's
এই যে দেখাইতেছে দাঁড়া
that's the unknown, but right now I think VP
ভেক্টর
has done
পাইছে
it.
কিন্তু
Red
হ্যাঁ
Hawks, they need to somehow make this work.
And of course,
সৌরা উপরে কেমনে আসছে
stand a chance here. They have to play the reversal here.
ওকে 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 হবে হবে ফ্লিকার ভাই হবে আরে না আরে না ভাই
AUG in hand, great range on the gun, and Flicker does not want to challenge it. But now all the players all together down on the ground. Fuwara with his
আরে 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 আল্লাহ হবে হবে দাঁড়া 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 ড্যামেজ অনেক ড্যামেজ খায় নিছে আরে ওরা হিল পিস্তল মিস্তল নিয়ে আইছে বেটা ডাবল রেক্টর পাইছে একজনে নিজ দিয়ে যাইতেছে না
already going on the hunt. VP changing from 3-1 to 2-2. Kutud will make first contact.
Okay, nice Kutush.
Down by Blade, and now
nice দুইটা
Nameless also goes down. Attack comes from the side of Diamond, but VP are losing numbers.
না ভাই রিভাইভ দিয়ে দিছে
And he's gonna get sprayed down. What a save coming on through. With the double vectors as well. Great rate of fire. Damage not too much. But Red Hawks has got this in their pockets. 3 players taken out of the equation already. One more playing his chances.
Easy. Darrow.
Riptide rhythm to break down their defenses. But
nice. Chase. OP.
And Virtus Pro off.
দেখো চিল্লাইতেছে এখানে বাংলাদেশি মানুষ
picking up a very important win here at the start of this game.
Feels like deja vu from game number 1. Back in just in time to loot the rewards, the bounty that the rest of his teammates have laid
না ভাই হবে আজকে হবে
just save that fight because the rest of his teammates were down and thankfully for VP someone
VP রে তো দিছে ওরা রিভাইভ দিয়ে দিছে একজন রে নাইলে তো
any easier has them in the process.
লস আর এদিকে কে
4-point rush today, but they go up against one of the most dangerous teams out there.
BSC এটা কোনটা ওই
unbelievable start. Rigby 2-4
আর ওদের প্লেয়ার আর নাই VP eliminate
but they still out
কে মারছে VP এর লাস্ট প্লেয়ার না লস তো বড় এখানে VP তো ওই মিলে ছিল
VP না ভাগলো
VSC এর আরেকটা লাস্ট প্লেয়ার এটা মনে হয় লাস্ট প্লেয়ার এটা লাস্ট প্লেয়ার
And suddenly, in a blink of an eye, Vision System
এটা লাস্ট প্লেয়ার
run away. He does have enough coins to get a revive, a ring around Rosie. Can he do his fast enough before they clear him out?
দিয়ে দিছে নাকি
and there is just not enough
Allah,
time.
eliminate.
Vision system, they fall in the hands of Lost, and off-screen, Virtus Pro gets wiped out.
Man had enough time to buy back the whole world.
তোমার হিসাবে একটা টিমের বুইয়া করা বেশি ভালো নাকি প্রত্যেকটা টিমের বুইয়া করা ভালো?
A single revival and Vision system out. They were already at the very bottom of the leaderboard. I guess that is exactly where
Okay, হবে এই প্যারা নিও না তো।
Unfortunate for them.
হবে আজকে হবে guys।
Holy hell, what a recovery from Lost.
চারটা কিল আছে এইরকম খেলে দিলে পজিশন বের করে হয়ে যাবে।
In their respective
আমিন শাহি ভাই যে টিম সেই টিম আর মিয়া রিয়াদ ভাই এগুলো কি বলো ভাই? আচ্ছা আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি বাংলাদেশ এই তো। Falcons আছে মনে হয় এখানে। এই যে মুশি এটা না কালকে স্নাইপার চালাইছিল।
হ্যাঁ পুলিশ করতেছিল মুশি জানো? একটা পুলিশ করতে ওই স্নাইপার।
ওরে ভাই এখনো তো ওরে আরে Falcons এর সাথে নো 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 আরএচকে দুটো শেষ।
Red Hawks Kutush also goes down, and suddenly Red Hawks have been sliced in half. But Movie Star R7.
পেরানে আর দুটো প্লেয়ার কই?
Well, two can play at that game.
R7 চলে আসছে আবার এখানে। ভাই কি?
বাঁচা দে আরএসকে রে প্লিজ ভাই বাঁচা দে।
আর আরএচকে প্লেয়ার নাই তো দুটো। ভাই কই উঠছে দেখো।
For the gun, but fails to find any connection on those shots. They've got the players of Falcons flanked already.
Falcons ওদের চারটা কিল।
For him does not find any tags onto the player up top, but here comes SWAT, and he is the
R7
king of R7.
কে নিবে ওদের একটা প্লেয়ার হেক্স নাকি গেডা নক। ওদের একটা প্লেয়ার নক ডেলা আছে। এই ডিলা না কালকে
Cororo just now broke his ankles, but they brought him back up.
कोई से देखो कोई से देख
Star player from yesterday, Joker finally pulls the trigger, and that's on fire.
दिए दिसे रिवाइव
actually got Peter as well. Two members of the down, but they need the confirmation, and they get it.
भाई वो कौन जगह उठ से देख
hides behind the building. It's him and Limit, and a lot of members of Movie Star R7.
Falcon से दूसरा प्लेयर शेष
This is not going to be easy.
R7 ने नहीं आने वो R7 ने नहीं आने वो ना कि भाई
Falcons যদি একবার হাইরা দেয় না তাহলে আরএসকে জিতবো আমি সত্যি করে বলছি এটা হবে।
So that they can play the game of revival. He's buying the squad more time, and as he stays hidden,
Falcons এলিমিনেট হয়ে যাক ভালো হবে অনেক ভালো।
আরে আরএচকে আবার একটা প্লেয়ার মেরা দিছে কে জানে।
to get those snipes as the players are up in the air. Can Limit hit it?
হ্যাঁ এই দেখো তিনটা প্লেয়ার।
See Limit now. Finally spotted out 1v1.
ওরে লিমিট তো ভাই স্নাইপার।
Free point for Team Falcons, number 5, but that is going to call to attention the rest of Movie Star R7 to kind of to come and tie up loose ends. Limit
আরে খাই ফেলছে রে এই ওয়ান শটারটা না ভাই ডেঞ্জার। শেষ ফ্যালকন এর লাস্ট প্লেয়ার R7 এর বড় তিনটা প্লেয়ার আছে রিয়ার দিয়ে দেব।
আরএসকে এখনো শুরু হয়নি।
আরএসকে আছে দাঁড়াও ফাইট হলে তো দেখাইবো। শেষ তো ফাইট এটা শেষ রেড হক্স কই
has been invested in as Cororo finds a good exit.
যে নেজা তো যে ওইখানে কুটুসকে রিভাইভ দিয়ে দিছে। হ্যাঁ আরে ওরা ওইখানে প্লেয়ার আছে ডিআরজির প্লেয়ার আছে কোটা টুয়াতে।
Just to add on to that, that was exactly what happened.
ফ্লিকার কিন্তু এদিকে আবার
So history could repeat itself.
তিনটা প্লেয়ার আর একটা আলাদা আলাদা।
Any sort of opponents, you gotta cut off the head of the snake.
এই যে শুরু হয়ে গেছে। আরে আমি বলছিলাম পুরো ফুল স্কোয়াড একসাথে।
Off to a decent start here. First elimination. Squad
আলাদা হয়ে গেলে তো হইতো না।
ডিআইডি ফুল স্কোয়াড ছিল এখানে।
Left standing. Bring the rest of the team members back in here. But RRQ very stealthy, very quiet, picking up the most needed weapons. You see a double AWM setup in their hand here at Bermuda. It is going to be absolutely deadly, especially in the open grounds later on as this circle comes into a close, dragging all of the players
আবার রিভাইভ দিছে হ্যাঁ
area of either Bhima Sakti or
কুটুসরা আবার রিভাইভ দিছে
Narco is a team that even they have taken
R7 আর এখানে কে
first in this case for the side of AJL. They've also
ওরে ভাই 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 ভাই
R7, they're fighting back, 2 down the side of AJL.
AJL এর সাথে
Not willing to let this go. There's a lot
R7 এর তিনটা শেষ
on the international stage, and this is going to be one that he refuses
ভাই
to
কি যে ম্যাচ হয় সেকেন্ডের ভিতর একটা স্কোর শেষ হয়ে যায় আমরা জানি
what a damn backup that was.
ওই যে R7 এর একটা প্লেয়ার নিচে বসে আছে শেষ ভাই ও শেষ আর যেতে পারবো না আমার যা মনে হয়
on the chase here. AC80 in his hands. That Oscar the Valiant dash.
দেখা নাই মেবি দেখা নাই
Really have an option for
না ফুটস্টেপ তো পাইবো ফুটস্টেপ পাইবো 100% ফুটস্টেপ পাইবো
না মেবি খেয়াল করে নাই না টোকেনও নাই ওর কাছে
Hex has an opportunity to go for a revival.
Hex রিভাইভ দিতে পারবে রিভাইভাল পয়েন্ট পাশেই আছে পুরো যাইতেছে গা জোনে না না
so he's desperate to find any
রিভাইভ দিতে পারবে
sort of coins. It's going to be a race against time. Has lost. They actually
lost
from Team Falcons earlier on. Falcons now
Falconerও দুইটা প্লেয়ার নাই এখন রিভাইভ দিবে একটা
on fire. Peter gets brought back once more. Falcons still trying to recover.
Yeah, on the back foot here for Falcons, but you know it really matters.
RHK আছে
both at the very top of the leaderboard. I think they can sleep the whole day and still qualify for Point Russia. So this is just a
হ্যাঁ রিভাইভ দিছে ওদের তিনটা প্লেয়ার শেষ ওটা শেষ
on their day one.
অন ফায়ার শেষ কি বলো আরে হ্যাঁ 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 আরে ওরা ফুল টিম একসাথে হইতে পারতেছে না তো আলাদা আলাদা না এই যে কুটুস দেখো মার মার কুটুস ভাই ফ্রি কিল মার কুটুস ভাই আরে আর একটু আগে মারতি ইসে থেকে খাই ফেলছে রে আবার রিভাইভ আরে ওরা ফুল টিম মানে একসাথে হইতেই পারতেছে না
in danger by turning his back onto his opponent. Easy knockdown.
ফ্যালকনের কিরোরও একদম মানে বেনিফিট নিয়ে নিছে ওই দিক থেকে মারছে ওরে কুটুসে পেনের সাথে AJL এর সাথে দেখে দেখা যাক কেন এখন সেকেন্ডের ভিতর দেখবো নাইলে তিনটা শেষ নাইলে চারটা
Double repair being used early on. Baros trying to provide support fire alongside you as Motovia slowly falls behind. But the rest of have to force a contact as Peter gets dropped now into incredibly low.
Launch shot use করে কে জানি গেছে গা
Managed to heal back up, but still no any opening against AG.
এটা পুলিশ কভার
পেনের একটা শেষ পেনের একটা শেষ আরেকটা নক ওই
But no one does it better than Noda. AJL ends up losing 2.
পেন বের করে ফেলছে
Taste that, Tinoy. 3
বললাম না পেন দিয়ে রাউন্ড করতে দূরে গেছে কনফিডেন্ট
And AJL one final survivor here potentially straight into the hands of Dragons. And Movistar R7 out of the race in the 10th spot.
ওদের তিনটা আছে RHK এর প্লেয়ার এখনো বেঁচে আছে প্যারা নাই আস্তে লোকদারও ব্লেড আর নেজা তো এখানে আছে পিকের ঘরের ভিতরে দুজন এখন ওদের বাইরে এখানে ফুল স্কট বুড়িরাম আবার ওই দিক থেকে ডিআরজি আসতেছে ভাই এখানে কি যে হবে এখন আচ্ছা রিভাইভ দিছে ওয়েট
It's good for them, right? Still in the game, but the
ব্লেডের সামনে ফুল স্কট কিন্তু আরে ভাই আবার ডিআরজি দিক থেকে আসতেছে এগুলা কি পেইন আছে ওইদিকে সব
মানে কুটুস ফাই সারে
এ নেজাত নক করছে অনেক রে অনেকের প্লেয়ার একদম রে নক করছে না টাকলা না এই দুটা নক অনেকে দুটো নক আবার রিভাইভ দিছে কে জানে আবার রিভাইভ দিয়ে দিছে
What a performance on the revival so far. We have asked for them to get into the
ভাই হবে নেজাত ভাই ধামাকা চাই না নেজাত ভাই ওরে লঞ্চার ওরে এই নক আরে ফ্লিকার ক্যামেরা দিছে আবার এদিক ফ্লিকার ক্যামেরা দিছে আবার এদিক থেকে
Thanks to RRQ who decided to join in as part of the score. The BRU are the biggest winners out of this all. Most players can't even get to them where they are.
আরে ব্লেড নক আরে ওই দিক থেকে ওই যে বুড়িরা মারতাছে মাঝখানে পড়ে গেছে না ভাই এরকম হইলে তো হইল না প্রত্যেকবার বাইচা যায় নেজাত লাস্ট প্লেয়ার
in the 8th spot.
RSK last player.
Survivor left in here looking for the next zone and has found it already. Question is still going to be this Kudush has
ভাই একটা টিম তো এলিমিনেট হয়ে যায় তাড়াতাড়ি একটা দুটো টিম এলিমিনেট হয়ে যায় এলিমিনেটেড কে ফ্যালকন শেষ
Good shot from Mao to stop Haone and now Lost have to make a decision. Do we abandon
আরে RHK ও শেষ
try Haone in this game? Mao takes him out. Red Hawks eliminated in 6th place. RRQ finally showing their presence. Rigby has all his glue on.
লস রে তাড়াতাড়ি মার ভাই
Praise them down. Taste led in this.
হাই
Unfortunately for Lost, this is where it ends.
লস ও শেষ
one up against the Indonesians who are desperate for a booyah for themselves. But the surprising ones are the team from EMEA. Dragons Esports, 7 eliminations strong, looking for that final circle in the top 3. This is what we need.
RHK eliminate তো লাস্ট প্লেয়ার ছিল না কে জানি মেরে দিছে বুড়িরাম আর এদিকে কে ডিআরজি বুড়িরাম ও ভাই ওরে আল্লাহ আল্লাহ ডিআরজি শেষ আর কি আবার রাশকো ভাই ওরে ভাই তুই খেলা দেখ রাজিন তুই একবার খেলা দেখ ভাই লাইভটা দেখ অবস্থা খারাপ এখানে ভাই কে নিছে আর কেউ নিয়ে নিছে মানে 1 সেকেন্ড মনে হয় যে বুড়িরাম নিবে 1 সেকেন্ড মনে হয় যে R7 মানে ডিআরজি আর ওইদিকে বুড়িরামের ফাইট চলতেছিল আর কেউ চলে আসছে
আরে সে কয় কিল করছে
4 কিল নাকি কত 5 কিল জানে আচ্ছা প্যারা নাই দাঁড়াও আরে यार
why are they always second? Why never first?
Point কত দেখি
That's the track record of RRQ. They are always in the top.
আমরা পারো
That is the most. RRQ fall short. This is a story of redemption. A team that built a legacy.
এবারে ঘুমাইতেছে তো ঘুমায় না কেন খেলতেছে
Now have bred new blood that over.
ঘুমা পুরো ম্যাচ বুড়া করে লাইছে ফালতু কোনখানকার.
Miss the feeling that when they were still at the top.
Yeah, the second
চিল ওই এখানে দর্শকে চিল্লাইতেছে
brothers from Indonesia. We saw EVOS Esports.
আমি তো সাউন্ড বাইরে পাচ্ছি না মানে আমি গামা গাওয়া
They did so well, but of course Falcons beat them to
তোমার সাউন্ড বেশি লাইভে
walked away with the second spot. That was very impressive. They have not dropped their momentum at all. They've kept that going. And now with the
তুমি RHK এর সাথে গেলে তো তুমি বুইয়া নিতে
they
পারতা
look absolutely dangerous. They ended yesterday at the very top of the
M5
leaderboard.
and 90
And now
থাকলে
they are the squad to beat. But of course, we're going to be taking a quick short break here. When we come back, it's going to be Purgatory time, baby.
দেখো লাস্টের ফাইটটা দেখো না মানে কি হইতাছে এখানে কারে কে মারে
আরান্ডি মারছে
হাই রে ভাই
এর নাম কি দেখো
এই ঠুসটা না মানে ওরা অনেক ভালো করে চালাইতে পারে দেখা যাক পয়েন্ট কার কত দিছে একটু দেখতে হইব রে বাদ পড়বে না ভাই বাদ পড়বে না কোয়ালিফাই তো করতে হবে নাইলে
এখন কুলগাতুরি ম্যাপে হইব খেলা
তারপরে কালাহারি অ্যালপাইন নেক্সটরা লাস্ট ম্যাচ সোলারা
lihat nih. Gua pasang glue wall, gua lempar bom, terus musuhnya rata. Gimana tuh?
Ada kiwas ah?
Ini ke kita 7 kali. Tapi setiap gua tunjukin ini keren kan?
আচ্ছা এটা ডিআরজির ক্যাম্প থেকে দেখাচ্ছে নাকি আচ্ছা আর কিও ওরে ওরে দেখো ওরা কেমনে কথা বলতেছে দেখো জুবাইর
Santai guys.
Though RRQ may have started a little bit slow here at EWC at 25, they kick things off with day 3 with their very first booyah on Bermuda. And Indonesian fans, I can imagine they are cheering for them at home, in the chat, anywhere that they are, because RRQ, maybe today's the day that they finally come back, because to be honest, they were very, very quiet for their first play day. Gideon, I'm going to have to start with you here. What was the major factor that actually brought RRQ back into EWC?
I think for one, I'm pretty sure that the audience in the arena itself, if you've ever heard of it, RRQ, no matter where they are, it's always home soil, it's always home ground, the kingdom always provides for them, especially with the fans. But in terms of the game, we've seen two sides of an interesting story, right? The proactivity within the game.
আচ্ছা আজকে 5টা কিল করছে 10 পয়েন্টস
reaching into the
7 নম্বরে ভাই
fights are not only concluding extremely quick, but only very few squads like Dragons are able to actually recover from the initial first impact.
Position point বের করতে পারতো
All teams, majority of them playing on the outside, unless you're BRU or RRQ, who took their time to show presence later in the game.
And now looking at the rankings, I'm surprised as well that Lost is in there. Because earlier, when they went against Vision System, they were almost out. Only 2 remained, and then as quickly as that, just wiped out Vision System. And they are back in play, taking that number 4 spot.
I mean, that wasn't even a good idea from Vision, because you know they are kind of struggling in the tournament, so they you know they can, I mean, try to fight against like one of the favorites to win the title, you know. So that was not like a good idea at all. So I think it's better for them if they avoid this type of fights, you know.
Yeah, high risk, but you know, high reward, right? Sometimes you kind of have to take
এই কার সাউন্ড
risks if you
আসছে
wanna keep
কি
your
দেখতেছো
squad here at EWC 25. But it's pretty interesting that already right off the bat we're
কি
seeing
তুই
a
লাইভ দেখতেছিস
very,
নাকি
very quick pace, right? The first 2 days, I kind of feel like the
কিসের লাইভ
kind of going fast as well, but it wasn't to the degree where everyone was kind of waiting for that
আর
third
বাংলা লাইভ
circle to
দেখতাম
make their
ওইখানে
move.
যে
It
ওরা
was
হাইলাইট
from
গুলো
the
দেখায়
get-go, you see people,
ওরা
you
ম্যাচ
see
শেষে কথা
smell
বলে
that blood,
কাস্টার গুলা
they're in your sights.
It's extremely
এখানে
evident
তো
when we
কি
do see Falcons taking the initiative to go again proactively looking outside of the ring to fight a squad. They end up winning the fight, especially
লাস্ট এর ফাইটটা যে মানে কি যে অবস্থা হয়েছে
and all of a sudden R7 decides to get involved in these fights, right? And this was happening all across the map, you know, from north side to the southern side. And once we get to that third ring, I think that's when people started to realize, oh boy, this is going to be a pretty deadly match. A majority of people have lost a couple of fingers walking into the ring.
Speaking of deadly, I mean, you did mention it's always back-to-back engagement all throughout the map, but towards the 12-minute mark, we still have 10 teams remaining, and we seldom see that in competition here. Probably in the regional, yes, it is possible, but it starts slow. But this didn't start slow. It's just from the drop, they're always engaging, and quite surprising why there's still a lot of teams left.
Well, and I want to add about
আমার কাজটা
the
কথা ছিল
fight
আমাদের ইন্টারেস্ট না আমার
Falcons
গেমের মধ্যে
against
ইন্টারেস্ট
R7. It's really interesting to see
Nah.
like R7 performing
Sure,
that
I'll
way
admit,
because
yeah.
they are not afraid to be like face to face with other Asian teams. So that's kind of interesting because you know
ফ্লিকার স্নাইপার
this
পাইতাছে
team
না
was like shooting at Falcons A, and he was like doing such a great job, you know.
Yeah. I do agree. I mean, GameSkin is one of the
Alifa ki
players
aso?
that's really
Live
doing
dekte
so
shona
much.
ki?
Thus, all of the top damage that has been
Hey,
dealt
Alifa.
right here being shown. And I would love to see a lot more from them, but look at the balance in terms of Burim United. Damage and elimination. It means that what they're reaping, they're sowing.
I disagree.
Alifa ঘুম হ্যাঁ আমি বলার পরে লাইভে আসি
Eliminations. They're pumping out twice the amount of damage we're seeing the other teams are doing, and teams like Dragons, for example, which I'm extremely impressed by. I thought it was good for them. They managed to recover, they managed to re-equip, and they also managed to get into what, in this case, the final circle, which is only the 6th ring.
Okay, I want to play with the idea because we saw Buriram having one of the highest eliminations and damage. What if they're struggling to get those eliminations? Like, they're the ones starting the fights, but everyone else is coming in, they're vulturing, they're stealing away those kills. Like, they can't play the game that they want to play. Like, is this maybe a warning sign that Buriram, though they might be feeling pretty confident coming into their second play day, maybe things are just not panning out for them?
আরে ভুইয়া নিয়ে কি খুশি ভাই ওরা
I think they're just that good. Yeah, I mean, we know for a fact Burim United doesn't start their fight towards the 15-minute mark or close to that. And at that point, they had no choice. So they put in so much of damage, so put in a few elimination, even if they don't finish them up.
Right. It looks like we are ready to fly into Purgatory Survivors. So let's fly
Purgatory.
into match number 2 with Husky.
এই স্টার্ট হয়ে গেছে ম্যাচ জুবাইর
Purgatory time, baby, and it was a
Jubair.
phenomenal booyah from Indonesia, courtesy
হ্যাঁ ভালো বলবি না তুই হ্যাঁ উল্টা
top, seeing the dragons
না
breathe
না না না
fire.
আজকে
That's
কুফা নাই
exactly what
আজকে
we want to
কুফা নাই
see out of the squad
আচ্ছা
who are struggling to get into the
আচ্ছা
top
দেখা
12.
যায় রাজিন তোর মাইক ঠিক কর
If they
সাউন্ড
do
আসছে
break into the top 12 right after this, the story would not be over just yet, because down at the bottom 6, all the teams at this point in time are from
না ক্লিয়ার সাউন্ড আসে না তাই বল
so you have to keep
এখন ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ওকে
And I think this really puts into perspective how teams like
আল্লাহ একটা বুইয়া আর সব ম্যাচে একটু ভালো করে খেলতে হবে
very weird knockout stage experience so far. They have the highest highs, but they also have the lowest lows. I guess you could
আরে
compare them to Fluxo.
ওরা নাইলে টিমের মাঝখানে বাজে যায় নাইলে মানে
More
একটা
evenly
প্লেয়ার মরে যায়
until the end of the last 3 rounds of yesterday. We've been
ওরা ব্রাজিলিয়াতেই নামে
these two groups in purgatory.
ওই দিনও ব্রাজিলিয়াতে নামছে
Towards the northeastern side, and Virtus Pro at least this time gets to head to Moat House.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, they're not being disturbed for the time being. Diamond
ব্রাজিলের সাউন্ড আসছে কেন
has to pop off. Yep, 590. Perhaps not having the Tatsuya on their side with the brand new edition, the updates
আচ্ছা
on the 49.
ডিআরজিআর তোমার ইয়ার সাথে হবে ফাইট
But everybody had to go through the exact same changes. They just
হ্যাঁ
did
আজকে
that.
দেখো ওরা
We see the very first circle coming on through here.
হইতাছে তার সাথে ফ্লিকারের মারতেছে মনে হচ্ছে
Circle somewhere towards
ফ্লিকারের মারতেছে নাকি ওদিকে ফার্স্ট এলিমিনেশন ম্যাক্সি
System starting off hot up against Onyx,
ওরে
the champions of Southeast Asia.
The moment you say that, Onyx turns it around and gets a couple of bodies for themselves. In fact, almost wiping out the entire bloodline of PSG this game. Thankfully, Vision System, they do have a survivor. Six really ran away, but that was as close as it could have gotten. Onyx ended up losing 2 bodies as well, but Zyro instantly gets a revive onto Prime. And also, you look at the radar, Falcons. Day 1, when they did a split, it was a 3-1, 3-5 brigade, 1 a lumber mill. Now today they dropped all 4 and 5 brigade before splitting. They understood that RQ, they also share that island.
Absolutely.
যে ভিশনের আবার একটা প্লেয়ার ভাই ভিশন রে এমন মারা মারতেছে
Crazy, perhaps drop slightly closer towards 5 brigade, but thankfully
ভিশন টিমটারে মানে সবাই
both the squads still alive and kicking, free to loot
মোট
as much as they
4টা
want.
ম্যাচ হয় নাকি না 6টা হবে প্রত্যেকটা টিম 12টা করে ম্যাচ খেলবে তো আরএসকে ওই দিন 6টা খেলছে আজকে 6টা খেলবে এরকম সব টিমই খেলতেছে এখন দেখা যাক কোয়ালিফাই করতে পারে কিনা
Also talk about Kiba's history previously with Onyx. It was a big part of Onyx.
চিল্লাইতেছে এখানে ভাই
He attended EWC for Free Fire 24 with that squad. Had a very underwhelming performance. Right now, they're on the other side. In fact, yesterday, Onyx tried to mess up RQ's momentum for Booyah, and they ended up.
ডিআরজি ওই যে ওখান থেকে চলে গেছে এই বুড়িরাম
We get
কই
a
যাইতাছে
ping with the R1
বুড়িরামের
that could
সামনে
be
আছে
courtesy
অনেক
of BRU as they are heading towards Crossroad, but they will run into Movistar R7.
Yep. Now Buriram.
ওই যে ওয়াসানা ভাই বেস্ট রাশার
Definitely in shooting range.
আচ্ছা এদাম আছে উপরে এদাম আছে এদাম ওয়াসানার সামনে এই এদাম নো জোনা আরে ভাই শুরু হয়ে গেছে এদিকে R7 ও আছে R7 এর এটা হ্যাক্স আহারে
finds the sniper of Buriram. The rest of them leave him high and dry. They're looking for a safer spot to play.
গাইস যারা স্ট্রিমে লাইক করে ডাবল ক্লিক করে লাইক করে দাও
Looking for the pickup.
ওই সাউন্ড কই
Needed to confirm Moshi before anything else. Backup of BRU was just too fast. So R7 ends up getting nothing. They might lose Joker.
আচ্ছা কে জানে লঞ্চ প্যাড দিয়ে গেছে কই সাইডে
Himself away in time. BRU saving Moshi and they keep the run going, but it bought enough
আচ্ছা
time.
ভিশনের একটা প্লেয়ার রিভাইভ দিছে হ্যাঁ R7 এর দুটো প্লেয়ার কোন আচ্ছা গেমস কিং এদিকে আসছে আর জোকার
R7 as well as Buriram.
ভাগো তাড়াতাড়ি
Going for the pickup instead of finishing off Moshi. And Buriram looking at that opportunity went back in there for the instant pickup just so that they don't have to be on the reset.
By points.
All of his loot and coins.
পয়েন্টের মধ্যে এখন এখানে এই গ্রুপের মধ্যে তোমার লস 1 নম্বরে ফ্যালকন 2 নম্বরে বুরিরাম 3 নম্বরে
To the side of Buriram wasn't all that new fun. And like
ওরে পেন
but now Virtus Pro finding pain.
ভিপি সামনে পেন
Once again. Riptide Rhythm going
স্নাইপার
and wide unfortunately.
ডাবল স্নাইপার আছে কিন্তু
He's holding his ground.
ওয়াসানা নক ওইদিকে স্কাইরো নক করে দিয়েছে ওয়াসানারে
Just now prevented Peter from getting a potential shot in. This could be a big flank. Bunjim and Nameless.
পেন আর ভিপি ডায়মন্ড দেখা যাক কে বের করে ডায়মন্ড নক ভিপি ডায়মন্ড নক ওরে ভাই শেষ এই নক হবে ভিপি দুটা নক ভিপি ওই ভিপি এলিমিনেট
unable to undo the pain Esports delivered,
and that one is going to hurt. 2 rounds in a row.
শেষ ভিপি শেষ
Got virtually nothing.
পেইন এলিমিনেট করে দিছে আবার ওইদিকে পেইনের পাশে আবার ফাইট হইতাছে মেবি আচ্ছা অনিকার এদিকে তোমার বুড়িরাম ভাই ফাইটের উপর ফাইট হইতাছে মানে দেখা যাক অনিকা দাম ও দেখো কেমনে পড়ছে দেখো পা তুলে মানে যে এরকম যার কমফোর্ট আর কি নেজাত রিভাইভ দিছে তারে ওইদিকেও ফাইট চলতেছে এই ব্লেড কারে নক করছে আবার ব্লেড রে নক করে আরে यार ওইদিকে আরে ভাই ব্লেড আর আজকে দুটা প্লেয়ার শেষ দেখা যাক এখানে কি কি ওই বুড়িরামের তিনটা শেষ
Pickup just not possible, and man has to run for his life.
Very decisive call from Onyx, and that is going to
শেষ ভাই অনিককে বুড়িরাম রে ইভেন্ট করছে
and this is where I gotta stake my allegiance. I gotta stake my allegiance.
7টা কিল হয়ে গেছে ওদের অনেকের
just now agree with Gideon.
আমাদের আরএসকে তো দুটা নাই প্লেয়ার ওদের কার সাথে ফাইট হইছে আচ্ছা R7 এর সাথে ফাইট হইছিল আরএসকে
They don't show up in a round. We said that they're saving stress, but I disagree. I think at this point it's fair to say that BRU
ডাউন তো দিছিল এখন এখানে ফাইট দেখতে পারি আচ্ছা আরএসকে কোন সাইডে আমি একটু দেখি দাঁড়ো আরএসকে ওরে ক্লিকার কোয়ারিতে আর তোমার এমটিভি লাতে হচ্ছে নেজা কুটুসরে রিভাইভ দিছে আচ্ছা রিভাইভ দিয়ে দিছে এখন ওরা একসাথে হইতে পারলে একটা কিছু হইতে পারে
I don't know, bro.
আরে ভিশনের প্লেয়ার আছে
they were the reason. Oh, I hope they were the reason. Skylar got
ওখানে তো
back
ফুল
together.
স্কোয়াড
Now
ওখানে কেন
Bowlers,
দিতেছ ওরা
Bob,
ব্লেডরা
you can tell
আর
Gatherers
আজকে
and Bob
আরে
ব্লেড
ওরা কি জানে
because RQ actually took a
আরে
shot.
ভাই আমরা না দেখতেছি ওরা তো দেখতেছে না, এটা বুঝতে হবে
Some good engages earlier on.
আমাদের হ্যাকার
Keep our
বাবুরা
attention.
দেখে
What matters more, Falcons they actually
হবে
take
হবে
the
হবে
momentum
আজকে
of RQ.
আজকের
Finding the first
ভাই
one,
কোয়ালিফাই
RQ
করতেই
has got
হবে
decent enough distance between themselves as well as Falcon to hightail it out of here. Got to fight up against the blue though. Tanking damage from the second circle isn't going to hurt that too much. So RRQ not really playing big risk gameplay here. Just needs to go for that long rotation round. Unfortunately, R7 might just bump into them, so we'll have to catch up with that action in a little bit. Aone
ওরে গাড়ি
on the bike, making a lot of noise. but thankfully
লস
nobody
জেনারেল
around them.
এই কালকে মনে আছে লস জেনারেল পুরগাড়ি ম্যাপে
There's a UAV hovering on top of them.
ভাই
We saw
হ্যাঁ উট পিকার দিয়ে
drop as well. They drop. They are going to be right smack in the middle of two teams. Dragon Esports.
লঞ্চ প্যাড দিয়ে আরে আকাশেই মেরা দিতে
They
ভাই
now are around the corner. That is a big shot from the AWM Zyro.
হাজার হাজার
Pain Gaming.
ওই যে ব্লেড ওইদিকে আছে ব্লেডের কাছে P90 আর উট পিকার
But if they go down southwards to get to the circle, they are going to eventually run into Pain Gaming, with the exception that I think Pain Gaming, they do have a bit of elevation to work with.
Consistency out of Brazil has been phenomenal thus far. Pain Gaming just one of those top performers. One booyah in the bag.
একটা বুইয়া চাই ভাই একটা বুইয়া চাই
Slow down. 87 points.
আর আর কির মালে তোর তারই দিছে আর আর কির প্লেয়ার আর তারই
Literally 5 more
যেমন আদব না মাল
হ্যাঁ ওদের জন্য এগুলাটে আমাদের জন্য একটু আছে
Game after game, you see them hitting those high numbers on eliminations, whether or not they find that
ওদের
final
ভাষাই আলাদা
It's been
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এই কারণে
RRQ 4 revives and counting. So RRQ, they even though have the full squad still in the game, they have been getting picked off left, right, and center.
পুরো রোটেশন নিতেছে আর কি
Onyx most likely will end up dodging them and having elevation once they get to where Pain Gaming are. There is a choice that Pain Gaming could make, right? Take the zip line down to the next location.
ওকে আর আজকের তোমার প্লেড হচ্ছে ব্রাজিলিয়ার পাশে ওর এখানে লস আছে ফ্লিকার আর এটাকে কুট্টুস মেবি যাইতাছে গাড়ি নিয়ে নাকি হ্যাঁ জোনে যাইতাছে যে দেখো তো ওরা একসাথে হইতে হইব নাইলে তো সমস্যা
প্লেড কুটুস
ফ্লিকার ওই যে কুট্টুস আছে নেজাত ভাই কি নক নাকি না আছে আচ্ছা ওরা এক গাড়িতে দুইজন হবে হবে
তিনজন তো মনে হয়
Could play spoilers, right? Like what
লস আর এটাকে এই যে আর
সবাই
RRQ and loss.
মনে হচ্ছে পেনের সাথে ফাইটে বসে আর এসকে
Getting 2 pickoffs in a row.
দেখা যাক
Dealing some critical
ওরে
damage to
বাবা
RRQ at this stage of the game.
শুয়ে শুয়ে মারতাছে ল
At this point we are more than 10 minutes in. Falcons now arrive and
39টা প্লেয়ার আলাইভ আছে ভাই কি হবে এখানে নগটা কেন
behind him, quick backstab and a
আর আর কি দুইটা প্ল্যান শেষ
had P90 in hand, just 2 glue walls, refused to use it.
এই চলতাছে লসের সাথে
Red Hawks. Bangladesh, can you go up against one of the most lethal Brazilian squads out there? Glue walls
লস আর
all laid out, but
ভাই ফাইটটা বের করতে হইব ফ্লিকার ভাই মার
nothing is lost. Pulls the long flank around the right hand side.
ভাই মার ভাই
Red Hawks
মার
a very quick trick here as they fake a lower
হবে
but they stay up to
দে গ্রেনেড দে ফুটে গেছে
Jig is up though. Kaone sees Flicker. He knows what Flicker wants to do. So starts it up with Glue Wall Melter. Take out
হবে ফ্লিকার ভাইয়ের কাছে রিস্ক আছে
They want Red Hawks to fight honest, not dirty from long range.
কুট্টুসের কাছে M10
Lost tribes the most. Rigby, Raja managed to
হবে লস মইরা যা ভাই
They can funnel Red Hawks into the gun barrel.
লসের একটা প্লেয়ার উপর আছে ওটার কাছে স্নাইপার একটা আছে কিন্তু
Top ground cover, lost in an advantageous spot.
এ নক ওদের একটা প্লেয়ার নক আরে নেজাত ভাই নক আরে কুট্টুস নক
Blade down on the ground as well. Revenge is sweet.
আরে ফ্লিকার ভাই
And Red Hawks will falter in the hands of Lost.
শেষ এলিমিনেট
That was exactly
Eliminate
what they wanted to achieve.
10 number
In the
team.
meantime, even off screens, we see Duels just got knocked by Vision System. Lost, did have to pay a bit of one member being eliminated out of the equation, but small price to pay. Peter getting literally ran down and charged right through. On fire now, trying to redeem it. Joker actually getting tackled behind limits, finding Della as movie star R7 takes the rapid bucket.
Yeah, without Della, question is how can they play this game of survival? Games kick back in a way, the squad player down, and Hack has no choice.
ওরে ভাই রে ভাই লিমিটে বারমুডা তো ভালো স্নাইপার চালাইছে
as well. AGAL making their approach here. And Falcons need to play this game. Do they play the circle or do they go hunting for the players of AGAL? Either way, RRQ lies awaiting them inside the next circle.
And Falcons with that wipeout freeze up their rotational path, and now they're gonna kind of fast track that. Instantly punish. Andrex is the one that spoils the party. And Abai, just stay still, my little boy. Do not make a move. Wow. Because Vision System are making their presence known. Falcons distracted. Andrex once more with a second collection. Deal steals that away, but Kororo too late to realize that they made a grave mistake. Abai just needs to wait.
I said Vision System needs a miracle. You said Vision System needs to play. Spoilers, they are doing both. 7 eliminations strong. Vision System needs to avoid that circle. Straight into West Dragons Esports. We need to catch up with Dragons in a little bit because they are getting a tad bit too comfortable here. Lost on the other hand. Don't have the numbers, and RRQ surprisingly out in 8th.
Oh, that was pretty funny. Torero turned around, did a 360 and saw him and just blew him up. Identify Vision System now against Lost. Rick getting gunned down.
টুর্নামেন্ট ভাই এখানে যে কোনো কিছু হইতে পারে অবস্থা দেখো অবস্থা শেষ
Vision System showing up late, but not too late. Lost is out.
I don't know if it's not too late, but it looks like
Vision System কিন্তু কামব্যাক করতেছে
for the big squads here. Dragons now looking for Vision System. And they had the vision to strike early, but the solid blue was erected to trap them in the container. They back away. Vision System though, tossing in those grenades is going to be crucial at this point. Dragons won't pull up their own blue wall to avoid the damage.
This is going to be a head of a confrontation. I don't think we've seen these two teams duke it out 4v4 until this point. Obviously, Vision System have more eliminations. And for Dragons, they need to start catching up with the chip damage being dealt down. Jota actually trying to progress. For Dragon Esports, those blue walls, they're going to melt in an instant. The bombardment commences. Shakes once more, gets the good snipe. And Dragon Esports trapped in their own building as Vision System cleans up.
Vision System এখন যদি কামব্যাক করে তাইলে আরএসকের জন্য খাতরা আছে ও ভাই রে ভাই AGL মারতেছে দেখো দেখো কোরা আমার মতো টেনশন আছে ভাই দাঁড়াও ম্যাচ দেখি ভাই আমার মাথা পুরো যাচ্ছে AGL nearly so we are second match.
Sooner or later, this was also a team
আরো 4টা ম্যাচ আছে সমস্যা নেই
international stage. A few years ago, Duke at the height of his career, finishing top 4 in FFWS 2022 in Bangkok, Thailand, and ever since then, he has not been able to return to that level. Whether it's an individual struggle or a team synergy problem, AGAL right now is his best chance, and with this booyah, they are going to remind everyone that they have been contenders all along.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, what a great play from the teams that desperately needed the points, right? 3 out of 4 teams in that final circle are currently sitting in the bottom 6, and Vision System with a stand-up performance. Unbelievable stuff. We have never seen them in that mode. I guess desperation sometimes brings the best out of you.
Not only that, when we finished match number 1, I believe the coach of Vision System, they gathered everyone around and gave them a pep talk. Maybe that was the boost that Vision System needed to get close to the top 3. A would have been great, but this second place finish is good enough for now.
Absolutely. We've got an interview on the stage for you guys as well. Aski and I will be right back with you.
Wow, what amazing matches we have watched so far. And for sure, today is a day for us to never forget. The last day of the knockout stage. And of course, we have to take a word with the first Booyah, the first team that got a Booyah here today, which was RRQ from Indonesia. And I have here with me Abai. This guy here doesn't need an introduction because you all know him. Okay, so the first match was incredible for you guys. You got a Booyah and you all wiped two big teams, Los and Buriram, who are also leading the standings, in the top of the standings. And I would like to know, how are you guys feeling right now?
Oke, tentunya di sini kalian berhasil mendapatkan Booyah yang pertama dan juga kalian berhasil nge-wipe dua tim yang teratas nih Pak di saat ini gitu. Dari Lux dan juga Buriram.
Bagaimana Indonesia sana?
Senang.
I'm just happy.
You gotta say more about it, please.
Yeah, I think I'm just happy. I don't know how to express it better.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, so I have already said today is the final day for knockout stage. What was the main strategy for the teams? What was your mindset going before start the day? What do you guys have? What talk do you guys have back home to start the day?
Oke, tentunya di sini juga merupakan hari terakhir dari knockout stage. Kita pengen tahu gimana apa sih rencana atau strategi kalian di hari ini dan juga apa sih yang kalian bicarakan tentunya sebelum bermain di hari ini.
Kemarin kita ya saling menguatkan aja. Terus hari ini mungkin kita cari poin kill sebaik-baiknya sih.
I think what we learned from yesterday is that we just need to communicate better and we just need to talk about what we want to do better. For today, we just want to get as much skill as possible.
That's probably really good. For us to finish the interview, I would like to just have one more question. Is there any specific team that you would not like to advance for the next stage, for the grand finals?
Apakah ada tim yang kalian nggak pengen untuk bisa lanjut ke babak selanjutnya? Fluxo.
Okay, well said. We have heard enough from Abai. Thanks so much for the interview. We wish you all the best of luck for the next matches. And we will see if you guys can make to the finals. And that's all. And right now we are going to go for a quick break, but don't wait up because we are going to have way more action right here in Esports World Cup with the Free Fire.
Triple kill. Dominate. Unstoppable.
Hello everyone, it's Yunsu. Welcome to the Boulevard, and I'm right here at a haunted house. We have a storyline here, the Zila story, which is for this house, and I'm going to explore the opening for you guys here. Well, the atmosphere is very scary. You see pictures here. What is those sounds? Okay, pictures, dark pictures, very scary. I don't know what is await me there, but I feel so scared, anxious. Why those pictures look so scary? Oh, that is a dead body. Why so many dead bodies here? Cứu tôi là nạn nhân. Hello? Anybody here? Hello? Hi? Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna come back or not, but I'm going to explore the rest for you guys. Then, okay, goodbye.
Some rush in instinctively. Others run the chaos.
What a phenomenal reposition, but with the launch pad straight out the circle, they get attacked on that circle first, and now Buriram fires on to Abe.
This is Wasana.
สำหรับตัวผมนะบทพิสูจน์บทท้าทายก็น่าจะเป็นเรื่องของการเริ่มเข้ามาแข่งใหม่มากกว่าครับ
Buriram United! They just don't win, they dominate. The kings of Booyah are back.
เริ่มมาแข่งแรกๆก็มันแบบเราจะเจอทีมที่เก่งกว่าเยอะช่วงนั้นก็อาจจะแบบว่ามีคนที่เก่งกว่าเราเยอะมากเลยอะไรประมาณนี้แต่ก็พัฒนาตัวเองมาถึงจนจุดนี้ได้ครับ
In Buriram, he's part tactician Part Stormbringer, trusted by Gehai, Moshi, Yoena.
อยากแบบเป็นผู้เล่นที่แบบแข่งกันนานๆเลยครับสอนแบบว่าตั้งแต่ตอนเข้ามาแรกๆเลยครับเพราะทุกคนมันเป็นคนที่แบบประสบความสำเร็จมาแล้วมีประสบการณ์มีอะไรแบบผมเข้ามาทีนี้ครั้งแรกก็ไม่ได้มีอะไรเป็นแชมป์หรืออะไรเลยครับแต่พอเข้ามาทีนี้ก็พี่เขาได้สอนหลายอย่างให้ก็แบบทำให้ผมเป็นผมทุกวันนี้
You gotta really give it to this team. Buriram United just going super aggressive right now. Very, very explosive.
A rusher with a plan, a warrior who thinks. This is Wasana, Buriram's quiet strategist.
That's gonna be put it up, trying to finish off everything, and one more shot. Booyah!
ก็พวกผมก็จะทำให้เต็มที่ที่สุดครับพวกผมหวังแชมป์มันอยู่แล้วครับแต่ก็จะทำให้เต็มที่ที่สุดแล้วก็เอาแชมป์มาฝากทุกคนให้ได้ครับ
The blue will be closing in soon. There's no shift anymore. Here comes Wasana timing that up. Another booyah!
คือมันวัดกันในหน้าเกมอย่างเดียวเลยว่าแบบว่าใครจะแบบเหนือกว่าก็คือแบบจนได้มาแข่งถึงทุกวันนี้ครับ
ไปเขียวให้กูไม่มีระเบิดนะวิ่งไปชิดดิโหลชิดดิกูหน่อยเขียวอยู่ไอ้ปลาระเบิดอยู่มากูไปชิด100ไปโดนระเบิด100ชิดไปเล่นกูหน่อยมาไอ้หน้าผมพี่ฟ้า100ชิด100ดาวชิดเลยดาวเอ้กูหน่อยกูหน่อยว่ากูหน่อยตามกูมาพี่ฟ้าอยู่ปีนะดาวตัวเดียวแชมป์ไม่ใช่70ตายมาเลยเฮียแต่ว่าพี่ฟ้าทีเดียวคิวดาเมจ1,400ตัวคิว
AGAL lock in our second booyah of the day, and things are really starting to heat up because the bottom of the bracket are hungry. We have gotten booyahs from teams that are currently sitting outside of that threshold of top 12, and they know they need those points. So all of a sudden, we're getting a very interesting match day where it's not a battle between the Titans at the top, it's a battle of all of the Davids at the bottom.
And this is one thing that we keep saying, and I think I mentioned it from the start of our competition, that treat your every day as if it is the last day, as if you are being eliminated. And I guess that's what's happening right now. Like, high risk, high reward, and this is one thing that those at the bottom 6 are doing right now. And if in case they miss, then I guess they could accept already the fact that they might be eliminated.
Well, we also can still keep looking at Falcons, like doing great eliminations. But something that I want to add is that Burira is not really doing that good. I think they are not kind of prepared about like early fights, you know. They know how to do rotations and this type of things, but I feel that they weren't prepared at all to meet Onyx at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't seen Buriram, aside from that first booyah that they got yesterday, they haven't really been a major player in the competition. But again, I mean, we spoke about this, right? It almost feels like Buriram, they're just slowly trying to peel off that target from their back. They're saying, okay, this target belongs to someone else. We are not a threat to anybody. We are harmless. Please leave us alone when we get to the final stage. But Buriram fans, I don't think they'd be concerned either because, I mean, Neptune, I mean, you have the numbers in front of you. Buriram are kind of safe, right? I don't think they are at any risk of falling out of top 12.
Yeah, they are safe and they have potential to be able to bring that number. So I think it's just a play not to be in a spotlight of like other players and the teams that will be going into Point Rush and Grand Finals. But I also want to put a spotlight in some of the teams like AGAL as well as Vision System. They were at the bottom of our leaderboard and they were as well as the second place in that game. We also see Dragon Esports survivability at its finest. This is one thing that we want to see from those underdogs, and I guess they're working in for the placements before they go for elimination. It was slow in terms of elimination, but they managed to survive a little bit longer.
I'm so glad you brought up Dragons because they have actually been quite consistent today. Although we've only played 2 games, they were the third last team to be eliminated in our first 2 games. So Dragons, I mean, it seems if they keep this up, they have a very good chance of making it to the next stage. But I do want to sort of make a bit of a statement, right? The fact that all the points now are going to the teams towards the bottom of the bracket, this actually destabilizes the bottom section of the top 12 because the points are not going to the top because the teams that are in top 12, let's say 12 until 9, you want the points to go to the very top because that means the points are not going towards the bottom teams, but that is not happening. It's the opposite. All the bottom teams are getting it. So now all of a sudden, teams at the bottom are getting scared. So what do you end up doing here as a team that is potentially going to get knocked out of that top 12? Do you now suddenly have to be the ones to make the proactive plays because you can't afford to play passive anymore?
Well, it depends on your playstyle. But most of the teams, they just have to lay low, go for survivability first. They go for the placement first, and then along the way, if they can get elimination, then that's where they stack up the numbers. Because if you risk so much in terms of fighting against a team, getting a lot of elimination, we've seen that a lot happening, and it is just like disappointing if in case you lose a fight.
It would be.
Red Hawks echono 17 number.
Rankings, ladies and gentlemen, the updated overall rankings. So we're still quite early in the day. Now, of course, we are still seeing a lot of teams from Group B very high up on that leaderboard. But as we continue to play and more points are distributed between Groups A and C, we will start to see a more finalized list of our top 12. Now, Neptune, I know you're the man of numbers. I love to ask you this kind of stuff, okay? Who is looking safe here? We said yesterday that there was a safe threshold, which was, I think, 130 points, wasn't it? So just looking at the leaderboard now, who do you feel is looking pretty safe? Like, where do you think is the safe cross line?
So I guess at this point, for the moment, it is paying the gaming spot because currently, like, they are 100 points already, and I don't think they will be short of 30 by the remaining 4 matches. So there's still a lot more that they can do. So hopefully they will be able to chase that number.
All right, we are getting ready for our next matchup, folks. But before that, though, we do have our SMB head-to-head with Gideon. Let's head on over to the main stage. What's up, Gideon?
Hello everyone and welcome to the SNB head-to-head here at the Free Fire EWC World Cup Arena. And this is exciting because with us right now, we have the Falcons fans loud and proud over on that side. We have the teams rallying for each other, but we have to do our jobs. Right now, I am glazing DRG. They're doing incredible. It is halfway or almost halfway through day number 1 right now, and they are just ruining so many hopes and dreams of so many big teams.
I mean, you say ruining the hopes and dreams if we're talking about a team who came all the way to Riyadh. Can we give it up for some of the Red Hawk fans? Give it up for them. They flew all the way in to show some support. Wherever you're from, if you're from Bangladesh, give them your energy today because this is the most important round. They're going to be looking to get as many points as possible, and based on what we've seen, slow start, but they can do even better. And with these fans in the arena, they can only do the best. Let's throw it off to our casters. It's map number 3. We're going to catch you right after this.
Map numero 3. It's time to head into map number 3. Here we go. Dragons Esports, Red Hawks fans flew into Riyadh just to watch them play. But this could be the breaking point, especially for the Red Hawks. But just now we saw a scary side, AJ. We saw that Hotshot is already down 11th spot. Dragon Esports, they have a hell of a good chance of making it if their run continues in this manner.
I honestly thought you were going to say Touch Buddy, but okay.
Ryzen
I know exactly where you're coming from. This is danger zone for sure. And obviously, we have to say goodbye to one squad.
Are ora hocche matcher highlight
already knew that they stood no chance, but Hotshots getting pushed down lower and lower. Pakistan can't do anything about that as well. Out of Group B, not a single booyah on their side. 87 points. The bar to exceed is pretty low. But the question still remains, can the teams actually oust Fluxo from their number 6 spot with 106 points in hand? They look pretty solid up there.
Yeah, they do. I think right now, if you are looking at just the standings alone, right? I feel like Dragon Esports, they should be very, very proud of what they achieved. I think the fans from Bangladesh should be very proud of this debut appearance on an international tournament at EWC of all things. I would not be able to handle the nerves, but here they are, 2 positions away to make it into top 12. and all they gotta do from that point onwards is to maintain it.
Yeah, I mean, Red Hawks obviously need to hustle quite a little bit before they can stand a good chance to sneak into the top 12. And we do have
12
more games on standby here. There's a lot that could happen. We just saw a miracle in front of us. Vision System out of nowhere pulling off a massive game, and that's exactly what Red Hawks need to aim for. The safe plays are not going to cut it anymore. They are on the chopping block. If they don't go crazy, if they don't get aggressive looking for these important points, they are not going to stand a chance. Playing safe and just sneaking into the final circle is not going to cut it as a strategy for Red Hawks anymore. That could have been a strategy from the very start of the competition, but too many of those opportunities have been let go already, and they're not the only ones in trouble. Virtus Pro, did you ever imagine a day that we would see them at the bottom 6?
Definitely not. I think Virtus Pro, they really need to buck up, right? They got 4 more rounds. There's still opportunities, but cannot make any more mistakes from this point onwards. But before we jump into Kalahari for map number 3, we actually talked to Pain Gaming, so let's listen to what they have to say.
Hi everyone, it's Yunso and welcome to my interview with the Pain Gaming. So into our first questions. How do you guys feel after taking a rest from the game
Red
and today coming with a group, group A, group C, with very top performance teams? Then how do you feel right now?
Como vocês se sentem depois de ter esse dia de folga e agora jogar novamente com o próximo grupo?
É bem tranquilo, porque a gente já jogou o primeiro dia já. A gente já tem uma noção do que fazer no terceiro dia, porque é muito bom jogar o último dia para sempre ter uma vantagem de pontos.
He said that they are and playing the third day, the last day, is always good because they know they saw all the other teams and everything, so they are fine with that.
Good, that is a great spirit that I love to hear. So what about loss? How do they feel about loss? Since yesterday loss was very high.
Ela perguntou como vocês se sentem agora com a luz, né, que foi muito bem ontem e tudo mais. Como tá para vocês esse sentimento?
Bom, é sempre muito bom times brasileiros desempenhando bem e, querendo ou não, nossa meta é ser o melhor time brasileiro e ser o melhor time da competição e ter essa disputa saudável com eles, né? Tentar passar eles hoje.
He said that for us, with the Brazilian teams going well, we are so happy for them, but we want to be the best team on Brazil and win the championship. So they are happy for them, but we'll beat them today.
I understand. So last questions to end our story here. What are you guys expecting the most for today's games?
O que vocês esperam de hoje, dos jogos de hoje e tudo mais?
A gente espera um jogo mais agressivo, um jogo também que a gente tá visando tirar algumas equipes para a final. E é isso. É um jogo mais agressivo que a gente precisa buscar fazer pelo menos aqueles 30 pontos. Tá um jogo mais calmo para nossa equipe e algumas equipes precisam pontuar, principalmente a equipe da Ásia.
And our coach says that we need to be more aggressive today, and we need to make
Hi Red Hacker, bye.
So we are looking for this game today, and we know that some teams need to make some points too, and we are here to beat them.
All right, I think it's enough for today, and of course today's
Hashtag
game is going to be the last
RHK
day of a knockout stage, so everything is going to be very intense because we only have 12 slots to go into the finals. Let's keep support for our team. Of course, support the best Brazilian fans. Support for your favorite team. Good luck to you guys all today. Fighting!
তুমিও লেখো RHK.
Pain Gaming ready to deliver the worst to the opponents to keep
তোর সাথে বিয়া দিয়ে দেবো
in the top 12 at this point of
না
time.
না এই মাইয়াটা জুয়েলের জন্য
Points in the bag. That should be good enough, but I'm very
আচ্ছা
sure
স্টার্ট হবে এখন
I like how the coach was managing expectations.
হবে RHK
I wanted
হবে
to get 30 points. Yeah, come on, you can get 30 points in one game. And fun fact, Pain Gaming actually in the community tournaments, right after the Brazil earlier season, they actually took out teams like Ross and Fox. So there is a storyline right now that we are getting closer to its conclusion, where there's a universe. We make it to Point Rush. If Foxo doesn't make it, It means that the other two
chill. Wait.
second will be there. Pain and loss. Can you believe it?
I most definitely can believe it. Anything is possible here on the world
Oi,
stage.
Razin
Anything
na.
is possible at the
আমাদের তৃতীয় ম্যাচ শুরু
Here
হইতাছে
you go. The teams
টিমস ইন ডেঞ্জার দেখো Vision System, Red Hawks, Onyx, Dragon, Alpha, এগুলা ডেঞ্জার আছে
ওদের ভাগ্য ভালো জিন নাই ওই
জিন আর রিকা নাই না ওখানে নাহলে তো রিকা ওয়াল মারবে মানে উল্টা পুল্টা জিনে নক হয়ে যাবে বুঝছি থ্যাংক ইউ আমি আরএস কে লিডার মিয়া
Yeah, it was a buy. He fired a couple of shots and
मैच फोकस करो मैच फोकस करो
likes the most, which is Refinery, and that has always been the headquarters
Falcon
of
Pain
RQ. Goes actually out in the open, finds an
কালারি না খেলতে বুঝতেছি না কোন
Logitech fortune smiles upon the bold. Pain Gaming so far have really been tearing it up.
Well, this next circle should give us a rough idea of how the movements of the squads will go. Still pretty
Red Hawks এর সাথে কমান্ড পোস্ট
moving down south side a tad bit.
এরপর হলো রিফাইনারি
অনিকের রেড হক্স এর না ফ্লিকার অনেক পিছে ফ্লিকারের পাশে ওয়াসানা বুড়িরাম তাইলে কেমনে আরে ব্লেড নো বেড়া
that needs a miracle in terms of points and Nejad could not get away. Climb dropping down like the god of death. The M590 delivers exactly that.
I felt like
revive হয়ে গেছে আবার
wrong read. I guess command
পুটুসার ফ্লিকার রিভাইভ দিয়ে দিছে
Yeah, they made the rotation straight in.
পুটুস একলা
They're going to chase down as much Red Hawk members as they can. Kutush will be the first point of contact. Ducks away to the sub. There is a chance for them to lead on it into Pain Gaming, but if you are Red Hawks, you cannot be in a position where you are just
Razin
for your life. In this case, they
yeah.
have a choice. Kutush puts up the blue wall, but it's only a matter of time before Noki blasts through that, and Kutush will just have to doesn't have the health bar to do so. 3 points for Onyx.
I had the right gun, just did not have the right timing there. That plasma gun had enough bullets in the mag to continue spraying on for days. It just didn't help the fact that the assault rifles are now doing more damage to those blue walls. Blue wall melters are very useful. The assault rifles will bring them down in no time as well.
Zyro actually making a rotation down to the southeastern side and run straight into BRU. So that's going to be some information given over to the team. Instant revive for Onyx. Nothing much was lost in the process. Zyro opts to drop back to command post, even using the binoculars. So we turn our attention to Mammoth. That's where Red Hawks escaped to. They will be near Pain Gaming as Movie Star R7 takes on Falcons.
Great recovery here.
ভালো গেম বুইয়া প্লাস আর কয়েক ম্যাচে যদি একটু ভালো করে খেলতে পারে তাইলে হয়ে যাবে
Riptide Rhythm's gonna block him. The chrono popped instantaneously. Doesn't take any damage whatsoever on fire. Backs away to
ওরে ফ্যালকনের সাথে এটাকে আসছে না
with the aggression on fire though. Misses by a single second. Circles around, finds another.
রাজিন তোর সাউন্ড আসছে একটু কম
Electrotherapy on play, but it's not enough.
ওরে ভাই রে কিরোরো অফিশিয়াল রেভ দিয়ে দিছে
too troublesome at all. Falcons making quick work of Movistar.
Yeah, Games King try. He really did. Joker was able to run away to confinement. There is a vending machine there. They should have the points to get a revive
AGL
not doing that well. Cypher and Barrow is removed from the equation as well now. Toss that nade actually a bit of a ricochet. Dew able to jump away. Can they pluck him out of the skies? Dew is going to land, but General and Haone is on the case. Trying to go for a swim. That first one is going to miss. Shooting fish in the barrel. Dew makes it to dry land.
Boy.
Loss continues the pursuit.
Good double glue wall and Dew sends the response. He's got the M82B. Riptide Rhythm breaks down the defense. It's Hanaral. One more shot required and Dew missing the final opportunity. Haone stepping on out. Dew taking on two players at the same time. But not enough glue walls to keep him safe for long. Dew finally is sacrificed, but bought the squad enough time so the rest of them could get away.
Saved by a tree, General. Ducking behind nature to keep himself in the running. Dew going down. Push AGL at once more another precarious position. Sure, the revives come true, but they've lost big weaponry. Vision system the second place finisher in the previous round, now finds themselves head-to-head with Dragons Esports, the two teams that both Gideon and Tash mentioned earlier on in the head-to-head.
Dragons not too far away
vision
from
system
the top 12.
এটা একদম লাস্টে
But once again, the teams that they're going up against here in the bottom 6 are mostly from groups A and C who are in play today. Alpha 34, the one squad that can't do much about their position. Hot shots as well. So 2 spots guaranteed. In order to make more, they need to push Fluxo out of the leaderboard here as well. And that is most definitely going to take a massive amount of points. Vision system, I wonder if this miracle play can continue for them though.
It's looking more and more possible for sure.
Yeah.
But the consequences of that would be pushing up Fluxo means that Hotshot is guaranteed to not qualify. Next on the chopping block.
I think it's pretty much guaranteed already. Hotshots are not going to be making a 2-point rush. They're just way too close to the bottom of the leaderboard. And the rest of the teams don't really need
match focus করছে আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ
For example, Dragons, they only need about 20 points to catch up.
Yeah, 20 points.
That's not a lot. I mean, Dragons in the previous game, massive stuff. Getting to that final circle, 6 eliminations, it's going to be more than good enough for them. They just need to do that, and they've got 4 chances to do so, right? So I'm hoping EMEA gets a shot here at Point Rush. Doesn't matter what they pull away from the grand finals. Seeing them there at Point Rush and grand finals itself is going to be absolutely fantastic.
And it gives them a chance to win the whole thing with the Champion Rush format too. We've seen that happen firsthand with Onyx.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from Onyx, they definitely are doing slightly better than they did in their first day of match. But I think it's also fair to say that if Dragons make it through, this is going to be the first time in a grand final setting we have someone from a less mentioned region.
Yeah.
That would be historical.
Absolutely. I mean, they are pretty much the favorites at this point of time for many of them in Saudi Arabia. Can you imagine after this competition, Dragons Esports finds themselves a little bit of a bigger sponsor, maybe one that has got a hub here at the Boulevard itself.
Twisted Minds pick up the roster of the current Virtus Pro last year, right? Not the greatest run, but it is a possibility.
ছেচল্লিশটা প্লেয়ার এখনো এলাই
already by the squad that we see in front of us, but Twisted Mind still waiting for a team to be worthy so they can pick one up. But Kings King walking away. Movistar R7 in a lot of trouble.
আর ফ্যালকনের সাথে আবার
in hand, got the rate of fire and switches out to the M590 just to launch it. What a riptide rate of fire. Going 2 for 2 there.
R7 এর দুটো বম
So much commitment from the side of Movistar R7. You can't blame them. They needed to stay in the round, and they know that they have to play distraction. So that 2 revives early on is going to carry on the legacy of R7 in this round. But for Team Falcons, they've definitely found their mojo. 7 eliminations and counting, and confinement. Plenty of time to loot things up. The blue is closing in, but it doesn't really affect Falcons too much just yet.
Limit is super rich at this point of time. 2,900 coins in his pocket. Falcons coin rich in case anything does go south for the squad. Finding a recovery isn't going to be that big of a problem, but finding a recovery on a map like Kalahari late game is going to be a massive issue for sure. So Falcons need to stop flirting around outside the safe zone and make it into the circle. But when they get to Bayfront, they should bump into R7 once again. RRQ on the other hand, sneaking around, just making good use of the low ground. And this is a smart play from RRQ. To land somewhere around here, and the final circle to get to the spot where RRQ is at, the probability is extremely high.
And I do wonder what is going to be RRQ's next move, right? We saw a couple of binoculars. Red Horse got scanned out, and now a third one on the back that we're seeing. Dragons Esports also got spotted out. AGAL though will be the ones that we're focusing on. It's going to be Pain Gaming against them, and sadly Barros didn't really get a chance to fight back. He tried to be the hero early on, and this time he will just be a past memory. Pain Gaming finding 2 easy pickoffs, and AGAL, I feel like we've seen this storyline before. He picks himself back up, but pushed out the portal, tries to go for the buffer, couldn't make it through
Thank you.
He really tried, but he just could not escape Motovia.
Yeah, no glue wall there to make a miraculous play happen for himself. A tad bit unfortunate. had the horizon line in hand. You were about to see a miracle play courtesy of Dew. One of the best snipers in the past.
अच्छा RS के एकटा kill Corsair करा जाने तो देखते वाला हम
free up the path for rotation for Pain. They are pretty deep out into the circle. Another scan for the Dinoculus early on.
Red Hawks আসছে ওইদিকে Pain পিছনে
I
ওদের
feel like I could say it could be from Pain because that's the most direct path into the circle. If you try to circle around the northern
ভাই ওরা জোনের
side,
বাইরে Pain
crossing the refinery, it's going to take too long with the siren blaring.
Raone surely on the move, looking for Russia's #1.
Pain রা এখন এই যে RS এর পিছন দিয়ে আসছে
being the deadliest guy out there on the battlefield. Not too far away from getting that done. Vision system from up top. Beautiful knock onto Joker. That's not going to be enough to stop the pace of this squad. For the time being, though, nobody else has got the elevation to deal with Vision system. But a couple of hook guns and a couple of jumps later, Vision system is going to be in a lot of trouble. But for the time being, the circle looks for them great positioning from the squad.
The biggest winner right now on the map is actually Los. They are uncontested. They can get a free entry if they want. But for the rest of the team, it's about to get incredibly bloody. We are almost 12 minutes in, and we still have 11 full squad. And to fight at the eastern side of the refinery, but plenty of open ground.
Refinery maybe.
Lost using the binoculars, managed to scan out 4 players on the side of Movistar R7, so they do know that if they make a straight beeline for the safe zone here, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But all thanks to the elevation that Kalahari presents, they play the clear advantage. They maintain cover as they approach the other squads. On the other hand,
RS के
one might expect to break link with that fall, but once again, thanks to the hook gun, which is pretty much cheap and available for everyone. Not allowing Nejat to get away. Boonjay chipping in as well. Masana finding Virtus Pro back away, Buriram says.
And this is just again showing us how experienced we are. That decision to take fire was so quick and decisive. And Mochi landing those initial shots, that is what's going to make the difference in these crucial moments. BRU now rotates forward. They're going to make a bit of detour towards the western side of the map and try to cut through from that compound, from that area. But he will put them in the crosshairs of Pain Gaming and RRQ.
Has not looked dangerous in a while. Waiting for the prime time to strike. Wonder when that would be. Onyx, the only team eliminated thus far, and Red Hawks are very close to the exact same fate. But Moshi, Wasana, both going down. Pain Gaming delivering the hurt. Motovia with a sharp shot from across. Get High desperately hanging on. Has got the M79. Needs another grenade to wreck the chances of beating him.
Pain और बुरी रन चल रहा था.
Get High has already been knocked down by Noda, and BRU once more collapses in the hands of Pain Gaming. As they paid a price for 2 members, but at least they're still in it to win it.
Unbelievable stuff. Buriram in the 9th spot. There's a high probability they get eliminated if they keep up this slow pacing for themselves. If we don't see an aggressive version of Buriram, they are probably not going to be at point rush. But look at Lost circling on in. They see the team wide open.
Allah ठाक पड़ेगी से. Loss है मेरा दिसे बेटा रे. अरे शेष.
Caught completely unaware and given a shallow burial by Loss. The Brazilian champions once more showing us the aggressiveness. Before the show even started, we saw Loss talking about their playstyle.
Yeah.
We see, we shoot, we take down, we eliminate, and we win. And that is how they won the domestic championship. Finished 4th last year on the stage, 3 out of 4 of them. And right now, they're about to make that point once more. Motovia finding Ma'al from up top VSE with the steal.
Unbelievable stuff out of the Brazilian squads this time round. They all want blood, and they find those points behind those shots. Movistar R7 in a decent spot, dudes. Wants revenge. Forced back by the circle. Can't go in there for the extra point. Will focus on their own placement first. Lost on the other hand with a quick reposition. And this is absolutely smooth from the squad. Pain Gaming on the other hand loses Motovia. and gets taken out in seconds.
And Lost puts themselves in the circle too. They have VP and Dragon
Vision এখন সবচাইতে নিচে চলে
they
যাবে
take care of teams like Movies
RHK
R7, they can stand there for Dragon Esports are also preoccupied. Like shooting free target and welcome to the firing range of Dragon Esports. VSE and RQ having a tough time dealing with this team from the Middle East as Lost locks in their 15 point and counting.
Again, you see Dragon Esports in the top
Loss
3,
ভাই 15টা কিল লসের
going up against the top dogs of Brazil. Dragon Esports, I don't care, even if they don't walk away with the victory over Lost here, they're winning my heart for sure. Rahone down on the ground. Rahone is going to finish this off all with the grenade launcher.
Seafolk does get a trade onto Rigby, but again, you need confirmation. Rigby ends up going down. Lost at 16, 17.
Lost at 17 kill.
Rampage for Rahone, 7 under his belt. The aggression for Yasir, he takes the fight straight to Lost to take a gamble, but it did not pay off. The dice was rolled, but it was Lost that comes out on top. Booyah! Once more, 3 for Lost.
3 for Loss, and the boys have found has found the #1 predator spot, kicking Russia into the 2nd position with his aggression. Grenade launcher for the win. These boys are launching themselves into the hearts of fans all across the world.
This is impressive. We know that Loss is impressive, but the spotlight is slowly shifting over to Dragons Esports. I think if this one continues, if they do make
Brazil.
it, I dare to say it right now that they deserve a spot among the greats.
ভালো খেলতেছে মানে
Definitely do.
স্কোরও তো একবারে টপ পেজ সবটা
18-19টা কিল করে বুইয়া নেওয়ার কথা হচ্ছে তোর আরএচকে তাইলে কামব্যাক হয়ে যাবে কারণ এরা 1 নম্বরে আছে এই গ্রুপে
পারবো না
হ্যাঁ
কিল করে পারবো না এই লবিতে
Champions of the Esports World Cup 2025.
কোয়ালিফাই করতে কত স্কোর লাগবে
Out of Brazil, the consistency
টপ 12 তে আসতে হবে আর কি এখন এটা এখানে তো পয়েন্ট একটু পর পর চেঞ্জ হইতাছে না ম্যাচের পর পর বোঝা যাইতাছে ওরা আছে এখন লাস্টে সবাই
এই 18 নম্বরে আছে না 12 নম্বরে আসতে হইবো
এখন ওদের একটা দুইটা ম্যাচ মানে এমন ভাবে খেলা লাগবে আর হইতাছে না 3টা ম্যাচে ফার্স্ট ম্যাচ ওরা ভালো করতে পারতো এখন ওই যে মাঝখানে পড়ে গেছে তাও টিমের মারটা খাইছে এই ম্যাচও কালাহারি তো দুই টিমের মাঝখানে পড়ে গেছে আবার
ম্যাচ শেষ হয়ে গেল ম্যাচ যেন আমাদের কলেজ শেষ ছিল না
আচ্ছা তুই কি ফোনে দেখতাস নাকি পিসিতে
পিসিতে
তো ফোনে কি ডিসকর্ড
না পিসিতে ডিসকর্ড পিসিতে এই লাইভ
তো তোর সাউন্ড আসছে কেন এরকম
এই যে মনিটরে সাউন্ড দেওয়া যায়
তো হেডফোন না এটা আচ্ছা বুঝছি
আমি তো মাইক দিয়ে কথা বলি না
তোর হেডফোন কই তো
হেডফোন তো পরে আর ইউজ করি না ওটা যে ফালায় রাখছি ফালায় নয় হেডফোন নতুন একটা কিনুম দেখি
তো এটা কি ওটা নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে
ওটা সাউন্ডে নাকি একটা এটা স্পিকারের সমস্যা এটা আবার মাইক ঠিক আছে
This land is calling.
আরেকটা নিয়ে নিতে হবে তাই
ভাই লস রে নিয়ে রিজিয়ন পুশ দিতে হইব
দেখো তুমি 5-6 লাখ টাকা দিয়ে লাগো
ไม่ต้องเดี๋ยวปล่อยชุบเลือกไอเจล
5-6 লাখ টাকা দিয়ে তো জুবাইর এর পুরো 5-6 লাখ টাকা দিয়ে লসের চুলো আসবে না
ওরা কথা বলতেছে
Vem comigo aqui. 61, caralho. Chupetão no gás. Boa, boa, boa. No meu pé, no meu pé.
Fiz esse cara aí. Jogando aqui.
Faz lógica, tem?
Correndo pra tu, Raoni. Miado aí.
Faz lógica, tem, General?
Não tem. Anime os dois, bem round. Finalizando eu. Não clicou ainda. Clicando agora. Boa, caralho! Porra! Vai tomar no cu, cara. Boa, porra.
It is all downhill here, folks, because we have just passed the halfway mark for day 3 of Free Fire at EWC 25. And LOS secure the third booyah of the day, this time on Kalahari. Welcome to the very fluffy panel, folks. I hope you are enjoying the show, the matches, and obviously your very fluffy panelists. My analysts, we have a lot to talk about because that was a really calculative game of Free Fire. 10 minutes. We still had 12 teams. 48 players. Everyone played so slowly. Neptune, you got to break this down for me here because, I mean, why did everyone just suddenly slow down?
Yeah, it seems like they are going in for placement points first. So they don't want to be that aggressive. But we've seen a lot of aggressive gameplay. But at this point, especially in Kalahari, there's a lot of survivability factor. With that hook gun, you can get away as quickly as that and revive your teammates.
I think you're looking at this with rose-colored glasses. This is ridiculous because Lost are honestly changing the game here. They're forcing teams into each other. They are taking so many elimination points, and God, cool guys don't look at explosions for a reason.
And not to mention, Lost, where are they on the leaderboard?
There you well, currently but also on the overall standing. I love the performance of Lost in there. They were able to go for the backstab. You did mention explosion. They just exploded. Team Falcons has been wiped
তুমি একটা কাজ করো খালি পরে ভিডিও কল দিয়া বসে এরা করতেছে পেলে দেখতে পারবে
কথা বলে না কথা তো বলতে পারতেছ না I don't even think teams were expecting Lost to do this well because that means in the overall rankings that puts them at number 1 but at the same time it's elimination 19.x3 now it's not about hey do we need to take our time it's can we make sure especially coming into that 4th and 5th ring.
Okay, I know we're highlighting LOS a little bit because they're at the top of the leaderboard. We gotta talk about the Dragons because they have been so consistent. They placed top 3 in the first 2 matches, and then they come second in this one. What is going on with the Dragons?
Yeah, I guess they're just going into the basics right now. Survivability at its finest. They're not thinking about elimination, that much of elimination, and they just want to be in the top 3. Currently in the knockout stage, this is their 4th instance of being in the top 3. So I guess this is their road to be on the top 12 overall. And guess what? AG Global and Dragons are currently tied.
I think the process of which they have figured out not only rotations, but most importantly, their landing spot and the recovery has significantly improved from the previous day, allowing them to consistently get into the top 3.
I'm just trying to think here, right? Is this maybe a case of Dragons just doing their homework? Because I feel like if you're going to play this consistency, you clearly have to have some level of knowledge over your opponents.
Yeah, it seems like it because I was talking they have been studying not only the entirety of those in EWC, but also those in Southeast Asia. So there's a possibility that the movement, the rotation has been followed overall, and halfway through, they're just going in for the placement. We might see a lot more elimination later on.
I think at this point, maybe people have been underestimating their homework, but at the end of the day, I think the Dragons Esports are, in the famous words of Goofy himself, just yucking great.
And it's only a way up from here because we still have 3 more games. It's not done yet. So if the Dragons keep going like this, they're going to basically guarantee their way in top 12. I mean, Neptune, are Dragons guaranteed top 12 yet, or are they still kind of looking rocky here for points?
Yeah, they're still on the edge right now, and they need to maintain those placement points, even add a lot more of elimination. But they're very close on taking out hot shots and bringing them to the top, or away from the top 12. So I guess they're close, but still no cigar.
I think that teams at least need to start thinking about these last couple of maps, because we've seen in these past 2 days that once we get into the last leg of the race, desperation starts to become very important, and more importantly, so the points that you can get from being desperate, fighting early, fighting into the mid game, they got to start cutting off the fat. Like, how, Neptune, you got to cut that fanny pack off. What is this, 2010?
Wow, thanks, Gideon. So just a quick update for our overall ranking. So as you can see at the very top, we have Lost with 163 points, and they have a humongous lead over the remaining teams playing in groups A and C, because EVOS and Core Memory, they finished their games, they're not playing today. So essentially, the rival team is Team Falcons, but this is 30 points, gentlemen. 30-point gap between these two teams.
I think with the 30-point gap, what everybody needs to look at is on that second page, 12 all the way down to 15. Because if any one of those teams, except for Alpha 34, also achieve that 30-point lead, that means everybody else is not going to progress as far, allowing that top 12 to be more achievable.
One thing that's unfortunate though, Virtus Pro previously, before the day started, they were in 13th. And only a few more points and they could have crossed over, but they failed miserably in 2 matches, and it's still happening. So not quite sure what's happening with Virtus Pro, but hopefully they can recover. But that would mean that Dragon Esports will be pushed out.
Okay, so I also saw on the right side of that ranking, I saw Buriram's name. Now the question that, even though they're over there, how many points are they sitting on? Are they... Okay, this is going to be such a crazy question. What are the odds of Buriram falling out of top 12?
Well, it seems, or it looks like they are doing so, but we all know Buriram. They won't let it go, and when it matters, they will be getting all those points. It just so happened in this instance, they went in for engagement a little bit early, so it's tough to call if this is really a
stage up a little bit, because we did have a bit of a sweaty match just now on Kalahari. Alpine Survivors. Gonna throw over to our castles right now as we get ready for game number 4. Thank you very much, Panel and Deadly. This is exciting because the top 12 places right now look so tight. Currently in 12th and 13th place, AGAL alongside DRG, both at 79 points. It could be anyone's game, but to be even more secure, you want to try and overcome teams such as Hot Shots right now.
Yeah, Hot Shot.
Bhaiya start hoise hai 4 number match eta
themselves to be under the top 12.
Eta RH ke jodi utte na pare RH ke
is within that threshold they have to
bhai shobai dua karo bhai
because we are left with only 3 matches.
Dua kori RH ke
bhai ekhon aslam bier dawat khaite geছিলাম ও আচ্ছা খেলা কয়টা হয়েছে বাংলাদেশের 4 নাম্বার ম্যাচ এটা 3টা শেষ
ভাই মেনুতে কি কি খাওয়ালো
রাতে গেম খেলবে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ খেলবো RH কে বিডি ওকে হবে 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 ইনশাআল্লাহ
হবে 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 in our dreams হবে
হবে হবে হবে
হবে
হবে
in our dreams
রাজিনের কথা শুনে লাভ নাই এই চুপ 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 চুপ
They had lost 2 players already. Then what? They bring the players back in. The recovery is incredible on Bermuda this morning.
ভাই এই স্বাধীনতা কি চেয়েছিলাম?
We are looking at drop spots of the players, but it looks
like কেমন খেলছে তেমন ভালো না ফার্স্ট ম্যাচে ভালো খেলছিল আর 2 ম্যাচ 10 নম্বরে এলিমিনেট হয়ে গেছে দেখা যাক
I believe it's by RRQ.
আপাতত এখন একদম লাস্ট আছে 18 নম্বরে
RRQ now sort of have information
RSK সাথে হইতাছে কার জানি ভাই
meanwhile we are now panning on to snowfall as I said
DRG ফাইট হইতাছে RSK সাথে
however on the river mouth Dragons and Redhawks are at
knock একটা knock
as heck right now as DRG they're going aggressive. Kutush falls Blade as well and Blade can't even be recovered anymore for now. They have to find a way to get themselves back into this game, but DRG 3 already and this is a great start for them. I glazed them on the stage earlier for a good reason. This is a team out of nowhere just gone completely nuclear and so many big names.
Eliminate.
A short run here for Redhawks. The last member was finally found. It was found by Motherboard from Ping Gaming. Motherboard is on that
lighthouse tower, encompassing the whole area of Rivermouth. Looking at Team Dragons right now, he's been so careful not to actually release any kind of shot. Despite being in a position where it's hard for Dragon to execute here.
Last position.
So with that said, Motiva
tried his best.
On the floor, manages to collect another point here for Pain Gaming. Motiva doing a lot of work for Pain Gaming in the early stages of the match.
They're looking to break some hearts and break some dreams because DRG, while they're hot, they are currently on the back foot in terms of bodies. So the best way is just go for cover. And the same thing could be said about Falcons because they are here to play here for names and also kills. But Pain Gaming DRG, one more member falls here, but for Pain, they try their best to get those pickups. But Falcons, Peter, he's aggressive. There's a reason why he is one of the number one decorated players on this team.
Free Fire official page है comment करता से old pick back चाहिए.
Find a different way to eliminate Pain from this game.
गोपालगंज থেকে কেউ আচ্ছা by the way
apparently the Falcons
RH के शेष आवार
away in midair. So there is only Motiva doing what towards Team Dragons.
সমস্যা নাই ভাই আমরা বাঙালিদের দ্বারা কোনো কিছু আশা করে সব সময় ঠকি
all alone with that car and also Woodpecker. Such a unique setup here by
ভাই কালকে থেকে এক্সপার্ট লাইভ করো
and also the Gigabyte right on top to gain elevation and a good angle to actually go towards Forest State. So main job here for Motovia, he has to revive the others.
You want to be able to do that as well. I mean, you saw they had a bit more advantage in terms of their cover and positioning as well. But Falcons did a great job of rally and being able to break through those defensives, running in as a 2-2 to be able to just really push them outside into the open arms for his teammates. And I think that Falcons, while they have been a bit more quiet, they are here today to just really solidify their lead.
Pain Gaming is back. Motovia managed to actually revive everyone back. Meanwhile, a little bit of a scuffle here in Rai as AGAL spotted on Olympus scouring around the same area. Rai is a very open space area. They have to actually close in their gap. Meanwhile, Noki was knocked by View on the backside. That they have to take refuge in that arsenal. Noki again on the floor, this time alongside Adam. And Onyx Olympus not looking so good. They have to fly away, and indeed they did. So the remaining members tried to exit. Only one member actually exited as Zyro was left here to handle AGAL all alone. Barras tried to break as much wall as possible with the Groza in hand. And Zyro managed to find cover for the current time being. He had space, but sadly, Dew found his back.
It's
a terrible position to be in when you have no clue where the AGL members are. And the AGL realizing that they have to really struggle to earn their spot into the Now they have, all the, armory. They have the upgraded weapons, and I think this would really increase their firepower. To be able to get all those frags, to be able to solidify themselves into some points, into the positioning as well.
Alright, we might see another
ढीलामी कोई करी भाई हम तो daily live करे
Here is a
भाई आपने की बोलें शायद ढीला
अरे माने जे लाइव मादर पता लाइव करे कोई लाइव तो करी है
এখানে রাজেন দেব তো থাকলে শুনো এখানে রাজেন দেব তো থাকলে 5টা কিল করতে পারতো
ক্যাম্পার আমি কিলে পয়েন্ট না নিলে তো আমি পজিশনে পয়েন্ট নিতে পারতাম
যাও না তো যাও না খেলা না তোমরা টুর্নামেন্ট
তোমরাই তো আমারে সুযোগটা দিলা না কি গিল্ডের অ্যাক্টিং লিডার মানে ফাঁসে রাখছো কোনদিন কইলাও না যে আই টুর্নামেন্ট খেলে যায়
Falcons, they're ever watching.
যাও একটা টুর্নামেন্ট কিসে জানিয়েছিল তুমি পরে খেলো না এই যে ইয়ার নিয়ে ইমতিয়াজ
আমি ছিলাম না তো
আর আমরা প্রথম স্কোয়াডে মুছছি মনে আছে
a lot to help his team in this situation. And as for Falcons, they're understanding that in this dire situation, the best course of action is to take a little bit more space.
Pina tries to actually do some suppressed fire towards Team Pain Gaming, but knowing that they are quite far apart against each other, so Falcon decides to actually just maybe find another thing to do here in Rivermouth, maybe find some resources that are lacking in the team. But it looks like Pina
was aimed at. I think Pain Gaming, Pain Gaming from the minimap. It looks like they are trying to engage on towards Team Falcons. Meanwhile, the first zone is about to close. Still outside of the zone. Example, AGAL and also lost. Dragons being bounted by another team in our Alpine, and it looks like the circle has updated, putting Sunside as the middle point.
Interestingly enough, that southern side is such a heavy point of contention. So many teams rotating over, which means we're going to see some bloody fights coming from there. Virtus Pro, I think they can chill for now as the rest of Onyx are looking for a slower and later rotation as they try to bring themselves back into this game. And I say bring themselves back into the game is such an important thing for them, because you want to be able to make sure that you have a bit more space to work with. Your teammates are able to get back into the game safely, and you're able to rendezvous together, to move together as a unit.
All right, we're looking at Vision System SP. They had 2 good games actually, despite currently being in the lower part of the overall table. They still have that hope to try to get to the top 12, trying to cut off teams from AGAL as well as Dragons. If they could actually get 3 more good games with good placement and elimination points, even with a Booyah, we could see another Latam team proceeding towards the point rush stage. Meanwhile, we're looking at RRQ happily camping at boot camp. Again, this is also a base camp, sorry. This is also another vicinity within the midpoint of our new zone. And Mal equipping with the AWMY. High damage, high caliber. Sadly could not go through glue walls. Only the M8-2B could do that, but still a very scary weapon to be facing against.
I'm looking at DRG's rotation right now from southern side. This is a very scary rotation because they are currently right against the zone, and most importantly, they do break into that circle. There's Falcons waiting for them. There's AGAL waiting for them, and that's the worst part because AGAL and DRG are currently on that same amount of points. They need to both be able to break each other to be able to earn their spot into the top 12, and that's really scary, especially when you're up against a team like Falcons.
Another potential team. Rainbow 7. Playing it slow, does not enter the zone early. From Railroad, it looks like they are up to go to Carousel. But the thing about playing in Carousel is that there is a body of water, so if they were to play around near that water, it could prove detrimental. Meanwhile, again, another team has entered base camp. This time around, it is Virtus Pro, yet to get an elimination point in our game right here. They are side by side with Team Falcons as well as Team Vision System. Meanwhile, Lost just exited Rivermouth.
You know, I think the panel had that question just now, will Buriram United actually make it to that top 12? Can they actually, maintain that point to be able to secure themselves here? And, I think the panel had a good, indication of saying, yeah, it's Buriram United. You don't really have to worry about them too much. They're explosive. They can start the day strong. They can still get enough, enough points to just maintain that top 12. And then suddenly in the point rush, the champions rush, they hit the ground running. But in this situation where so many teams are this competitive, how long are you going to be just sitting on that back foot? Are you not going to try show a bit more of the competitiveness, or are you just going to just do the bare minimum here?
I believe the bare minimum would be the least effort they could put for because judging from the points that they have, they are at high percentage to proceed to the next stage. Right now we're looking at them.
Yes.
Yeah, not they are quite, how can I say, comfortable to be current, being as they have sufficient points to be proceeding towards the point rush stage. And again, this is the airdrop brought to you by STC. Okay, very nice. I'm not so sure what's inside, but I believe this is a golden airdrop, so maybe either a Groza or AWM inside. Now we're looking at the Vantage Bridge where Dragons reside. Awaiting them in front is AGAL, but they are going to use that mini jump pad to try to go to front. And Dragons awaiting the zone. Those who are inside are actually
Karan notun gese dia di উপরে রাশ দিছে
and also I believe only one member of team Onyx Olympus.
কোন বাকি ম্যাচে বাকি কোন ম্যাচে আমার
The
বিদেশ
team
করা
that
হবে
is in the middle of the zone will try to kick beat. Meanwhile,
কালকে রাতের কাজটা মেজাজ খারাপ হয় নাই তোমার
Very aggressive coming for RQ here. They're hot off that win this morning. They've done the ritual and it's working out very well. And R7 just crumble. Games King falls as well. The rest of RQ just taking their time, moving together as a unit. They've gotten 2 members of R7 already, and they can now chill. They're playing at the side of the zone here. The rest of R7 forced out there, back in the open, into the zone again. And you know, this is the question. What are you going to do here? You have a vehicle, yes. You have to go for a longer rotation for sure, but time is ticking.
He's trying to adjust the vehicle. Yeah, you could reverse Hux. You could reverse the vehicle. All right, Hux has a vehicle. However, he's now all alone. Not much coin for him to revive at least one person. So his only option is either to survive or trying to find maybe a respawn platform. But sadly, the current circle does not provide him that option. So Hux has to play alone. And meanwhile, we're looking RRQ flying towards the base camp, trying to get to the center point of the new zone. Meanwhile, Pain Gaming blasted the team lost, but at the same time being disturbed by one lone member of Onyx Olympus. And Lost is looking at AGL.
Lost is looking hot. If you ask me, the southern side where they're holding completely open, they have this scoped weapon as well to allow them to go for these long-range fights, but the fights that are long-range are taken away by Dew, as Hux eventually does fall to Onyx, in fact, who has placed himself out there in the open. But for the rest of AGL, they're stuck here. The zone's pushing, they're stuck literally between a rock and a hard place.
না ভাই এই ম্যাচে যা করছে ওদের খবর হয়ে যাইবো
Has to recover, can't do that. The glue walls are just falling so easily, melted right now, taking so much damage. Barros as well, the numbers are dwindling, and AGL don't seem to have an idea how exactly to recover from this situation. You alone here, and now the members have followed a double kill for this guy who's putting in so much pressure. AGL falls, and I think for DRG, this could be the holy or the hallelujah moment they needed.
Under the mercy of Team Lost goes down AGL. The next thing you know, Dragons as well on 9th place.
আরে না এই টাইমটা জুবা ট্রেডে দিলে এতক্ষণে $1 million কামে
This time on towards RRQ with the M249. Definitely.
এটা ঠিক একবার ট্রিপল আর তো কোয়ালিফাই করছিল কিন্তু যাইতে পারে নাই
Barriers as well as blue wall. So Lost controlling RRQ, forcing them to be inside of the building. Meanwhile, Onyx Adam is following virtual
এটা কি ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ না নাকি
on his own, and Adam finally got caught, but RRQ dudes with the grenade managed to get a triple, I believe, as Adam and 2 members of Virtus Pro
Free Fire আলাদা ডানা
Exposy and Diamond has to run away. Exposy has to tank the snow grenade a little bit, and there you go. Onyx has been eliminated at 8th place, and now chaos is upon them near base camp.
Because this hard shift is making everyone fight for that spot. But RQ is doing phenomenal in terms of positioning, in terms of style of play. They have already 10 eliminations at this 5th circle, and they are still going on here. They just found the members of BRU as well, taken them down, and now they're on a rampage. Who else do you want to go for? They set their eyes onto Lost, puts a bit of chip damage, but not enough. But still, they don't have the zone, they have rushed forward. But because Pain and Lost are on this fight here, Pain is just going super aggressive. Rahone falls, and RQ are happy to take this space away from the rest, who are later to rotate into the circle. But they're not done because Falcons is here to stop them.
Falcon taking down RRQ one by one, but no dudes with the grenade launcher taking down the last member of the Falcons. Now it's just RRQ and Pain Gaming, but Pain Gaming has the help, has the number. Only dudes left alone, running for his life in one particular spot, and Motherboard awaiting for that blue wall to go down. Only dudes remaining between Pain Gaming and that second Booyah in EWC. Dudes trying to control the car together with Gus, but Gus bringing him out. Motherboard secures the kill, and that is Booyah for Pain Gaming.
Valiant effort for RQ dudes. He really delayed the inevitable. Tried his best to at least get a point or two before things went wrong. And you know what, Pain? Yeah, talk lucky that smack talk, because honestly, you guys deserved it. Another booyah for them today. Not today, but in this particular week. And it looks so good. They're very methodical in terms of their rotations. They're very quick on the ball when it comes to rotations as well. It looked as though RQ had the W, if you ask me. But Pain Gaming decided, no, I can change the chains of destiny.
What a good run here for Pain Gaming. In the last a few moments of the game, you can see them taking down Lost and saving base, as well as Falcons fighting off against RRQ, where in that particular scowl, it was RRQ that come on top. However, due to the fact that members of RRQ has been eliminated by Team Falcon, that gave room for Pain Gaming to do their booyah moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right after this, we are going to go to the stage with Carol for a very interesting interview. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, booyah at Alpine for Pain Gaming from Brazil, and that is their second booyah for EWC. So, let's go off to Carol on stage.
Thanks so much, guys. You have been doing a great work today, and so far it was only match 4, and we have watched enough here today for the Brazilian teams. Another booyah from Pain Gaming, but right now we gotta talk with the Lost team, especially with this guy here that has overcome even Evil's team. Wow. I have actually some stats to share with you, because you have the most eliminations overall among us all the 3 groups, and your team has beaten Evils in terms of damage. So for sure, you have been doing a great job here today, Haoni. But right now, it feels like you guys are looking for a redemption against Team Falcons on AWC 24. How does it feel right now, seeing like you have been being on the farm to take the champions during the title, the champions title during the finals? Raoni, já trouxe algumas informações aqui que vocês estão ultrapassando o time da Evils, principalmente nos danos, né? E você tem as maiores eliminações dos 3 grupos até agora, mas obviamente que não dá para esquecer que no ano passado vocês ficaram no top 3, né? No antigo time da Netshoes Miners, e agora vocês estão voltando aí atrás dessa redenção, com certeza pra cima do time da Team Falcons. Quero saber como é que tá o sentimento agora, depois disso tudo que eu compartilhei com você, que eu imagino que é muita coisa.
Ano passado nosso estilo de jogo era diferente, tipo, jogava mais pra safe e tal. E nosso time esse ano, 2025, tá bem mais forte. Começamos o ano mal, mas depois nós foi campeão brasileiro e conseguiu classificar pro Mundial. E o nosso estilo de jogo tá muito bom, tipo, atrasado, só rushando. Um estilo de jogo que eu gosto muito, nosso time gosta muito, que é mais rushado do que ser rushado, que é bem mais fácil, né? Mas nós tá muito confiante e é isso.
Okay, so basically it's a mix of feelings, because last year we had a totally different game style going on. Actually, we also have a different roster. Only 3 players remain on the team, but right now we feel way more confident to be here. On the very beginning of the year, we still had a lot of mistakes to be fixed, but we overcome. We won Free Fire World Series Brazil, and we came here as a champion of Brazil, and we are here for sure very confident to take the trophy. And right now I want to know your expectations for the rest of the day, because you guys have done so much here. You got booyahs yesterday, you got another booyah today, and for sure I would like to know if your main goal is to finish as the best team of the day. Com certeza vocês estão fazendo uma campanha incrível aqui no EWC. Essa só é a fase classificatória, o último dia da fase classificatória, e eu quero saber suas maiores expectativas e se também seu objetivo é terminar em primeiro lugar aqui, como não só no topo de tabela, mas melhor time do dia.
Isso é um objetivo nosso, terminar como o primeiro time do dia.
Shahed, métodos é só rupiada, é isso que eu quis
dizer. E a expectativa tá melhor, tipo, manter sempre o pé no chão e sempre o mesmo estilo de jogo. A confiança lá em cima e isso, e amassar.
Tem algum recado pro Brasil?
Recado pro Brasil. Passo lá,
virou a segunda guerra da
campeão.
Perfect. So he basically said their confidence of the team is just rising up. After matches and matches, they have set a new strategy to be here today, and it's only the knockout stage, but they are seeking, they are thirsty for the trophy, and they will not allow to come back to Brazil without the trophy. And that's all, my friends. We have watched great actions on Free Fire today. Today is the last day of knockout stage, and there's still a lot more to come, and I'm excited to be part of this. All right, so let's go for a quick break, and we'll be right back here with more action for Free Fire at EAWC 2025.
Double kill. Rampage. Killing spree. Killing spree.
ছিল কি এটা ভাই আমি জানি
What is up, folks? Welcome to What's in the Bowl at Free Fire Esports World Cup 2025. I'm your host, Husky, and today I have two gentlemen with me on the couch from Virtus Pro. Welcome to the show. I want to quickly explain the rules, quick and simple. There are two bowls of this sort on the table, which the players will draw from. Plenty of notes inside. When they draw the notes, they will have to read it, hide it from their partners, and have them guess what it is. They could use audio cues, they could do actions, they could do anything they want. So, are we ready? Take your draw. Don't show him. What have you got?
ปืนไฮไลท์เก่าปืนสายไฮไลท์เก่าสองยาว M104 ใช่ปืนถ่ายไฮไลท์เมื่อก่อนเลยแมปใหญ่อะที่แมปใหญ่เล่นกันอะใช่แบน12ใช่
Yes, correct. It's the SPAS 12. Okay, good job. Number one, 1 point for you. Now it's your turn.
ปืนสไนเปอร์ AWM ไม่ใช่บาเลตไม่ใช่คา98ถูกต้อง ที่กูถือทุกเกมเวลาเปิดคลังแจคลังที่กูถือทุกเกมเวลาเข้าไปในคลังว่าเป็นฮิว
Killing pistol. Okay, so pew pew pew.
ว่าแมปทะเลทรายปืนสลิง
Congratulations, we have a tie, but we need a tiebreaker. Rock, paper, scissors.
Siami.
And rock, paper, scissors. And we have a winner. Yay. Right, since this is called What's in the Bowl, I have one more thing in the bowl for you guys. You ready? Ready to know what it is? It is...
Oh,
bhai. Good luck, VP. Good luck for EWC. And that's all for What's in the Bowl. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hi everyone, it's Yunso, and we are here at the Esports World Cup 2025 Boulevard. Very lively here in the gaming district. Place for you to enjoy esports. But the most special thing about here is the food. Southern region dishes, all of the regional dishes, food. Who doesn't love food? Because I am. So I hope you guys will enjoy the moment on the camera. But if you can, please come here and share the fun with us right here at Esports World Cup 2025 Boulevard.
शुरू होता
Tropa, deixa o moto matar. Não, vai matar. Deixa o moto matar o último. Eu vou salvar, deixa o moto, fica na boa, Pet. Só mata o último, mano. Ô, porra, sem bala. Relaxa, fica na boa. Quer Oscar, alguma coisa? Faz um sigilo aí, força um sigilo aí. Dá uma tira, vamos na panela, Mas não mata. Não mata, Pet. Fica na boa. Vou pegar o copo aí, não pegar. Matei. Tem que pegar aqui, vai pro gás. Matei, porra. 10 kills. Vai, porra. Você, caralho, você. Bate, porra.
Pain Gaming show us pain by securing the 4th booyah today on Alpine. RRQ so close yet so far, and unfortunately no back-to-back booyahs for any of these teams as of yet, but we did have a off-camera discussion about this, Gideon. Pain Gaming needed that booyah, and now they picked up the bunch of points. Is Pain safe? Are they feeling safe now? Or are they still on the verge of maybe having a bit of an instability moment?
Well, I think, you know, two things that are going really well for Pain Gaming as of right now. The second half of the maps is something that they've, you know, shown us on day number 1 that, hey, we can actually get a good amount of elimination points on top of placement points no matter the map. So that consistency is always great. Second of all, the fact is they're breaking into top 12s pretty easily. I think they are relatively secure. I mean, Neptune, you can fact check me on this one because, again, this is based all off of gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, they have breached the 130 mark that we keep talking about. So, yeah, currently 5th. And then also that final 5v5 or 4v4, it also brought RRQ to top 6. They have breached it in with 131 points. So, I guess for these two teams, despite of RRQ not getting that booyah, I think they're in a safe spot.
So it seems like these teams, they are locking in their spots here for that championship weekend. But very quickly though, we do have our match ranking for the game that has just concluded. And RRQ, you know, even though they didn't get the booyah, they still topped the charts there with the most points thanks to those eliminations. But of course, eliminations, those are just as important as those booyah points. So RRQ, Pain Gaming, locking in their spots. Team Falcons, I mean, they're going to be happy with themselves as well, right? Just grabbing up some more points, climbing up higher and higher on that leaderboard. But to be fair, if you're up there, you kind of don't need the points. It's just kind of to say, well, I'm up here on that leaderboard. But we're not done. We are not done yet. We still have 2 more games to go. And we still have teams that are vying for those points to make it to top 12. So what are we looking at on that leaderboard? Where is the danger zone? Like, are we looking at maybe like 10th place until 14th? 9th until 11th? Like, where we kind of going here?
Well, judging from the numbers, those that is very close to the 100 spot, which is 106. That is where Fluxo is. So them together with Movistar R7 and United is in that bubble. But unfortunate for Fluxo though, they have no say in it. They will be playing for today, so Movistar R7 as well as United will be able to move up.
I mean, it's not within their control, but I'm looking at it, and honestly, it's getting pretty tight, right? If we're looking at specifically 12 on top of 13 AGAL, and as well as points difference between those two teams, and they're trying to overtake Hotshot Esports at 87, which they should be able to do in the next 2 maps. But there's still the possibility of Virtus Pro, if they come up with huge numbers in these games, like let's say 30 points each on either map, I think they can just shoot right up in the standings and knock one of these teams out.
And hopefully this is the time, because Virtus Pro, they failed in the first 2 maps. 3rd map still failing, so it's very difficult to say if they'll be able to bring it. And like it might be I would say hanging in there on the top 12. Very close, I would say, based on calculation and performance. So hopefully they bring it on the remaining maps.
All right, gentlemen, it looks like we're almost ready to jump into our 5th map of the day. But before that, though, it looks like our casters are on the main stage. What's happening, casters?
4 games done, 2 more to go. Husky, time is running out, buddy.
It is running out, and you can hear the echoes, the cheers, the screams, the support, primarily from our returning champions, Team Falcons. Yeah. Falcons, let me hear your noise, Team